What's up, folks? I'm live and alive, and I'm going to be going directly into this interview that I'm about to conduct with Yusuf, who is currently in... Wait, what is happening? What the fuck? Why is my Discord not working? Hold on. I'm going to be talking to Yusuf in... Yeah, no intro. I'm going to be talking to Yusuf, who is in Gaza right now because he has a limited amount of time, and he's in Gaza. He's in the Gaza Strip. He's 16, and we are going to... Oh, there it is. Okay. We're going to go right into it. Let's see. But yeah, it's already very late over there, so there's a limited amount of time that they have. That Yusuf has here. So hold on. I'm going to get started immediately on this. Let me just blast off on Twitter as well while I call him. Okay. All right. Camera. Okay, here it is. All right. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Wait, let me just set up the camera.
All right, perfect. Damn, you got all the lights on and everything. Hold on one second. You can see me, right?
Yeah, I can see you, man. Let me wipe the camera a bit.
You turned it off.
Yeah, I want to wipe it. Wait. All right.
Okay.
How's the quality? Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's actually great. It's much better than expected. What's up, Yusuf?
What's up, man? Wait, let me just get everything set up. All right.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and everyone that's watching, we're talking to Reach Yusuf. Yusuf, I don't know if you have ever said your full name or not, so I don't know if you say it or not, but Yusuf is 16, right? You're 16 years old?
Yeah, I'm 16.
Yeah, Yusuf is 16 years old. He is currently living in Gaza, and he has a bunch of TikToks that he's done from the Strip, talking about how difficult it is to get food and just like the day-to-day activities of living through this harrowing experience. And because the internet is so crazy, and because just like our world is so crazy, we get to directly talk to someone like him. And I'm very excited. It's my great honor to be able to have you on the stream, brother. How are you? How are you doing, all things considered?
It's an honor to be here, man. To be on the live stream.
No, the honor is mine. So for those of you who don't know, like I said, Yusuf also does like a bunch of TikToks, and they're great. They're very funny. You have a great sense of humor, but you also very clearly know what's up. Like, you know what's going on. You set this up. You set this background up for yourself. What was that light? There's like lights passing by. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I would. As my little brother, he's I don't know, he's putting lights on.
Oh, he's turning lights on in the room.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I'm in my neighbor's house, actually. He has like really good internet, and he has lights. So I don't have lights at the place that I'm staying.
Yeah, you were
So
in a dark room when we were talking earlier when I was driving back. Yeah. So let's get started. Before we get to some serious stuff, let's talk about like what you do on a day-to-day. Like what occupies your time?
So I mean, life in a war, it's pretty boring, right? There's not much to do. Like, I would say I wake up in the morning, I pray, and then I go to the market. I go to the market by walking. I walk for probably an hour, because there's no vehicles that are going like back. Like, there's no taxis, so I have to go to the market by walking, and it's an hour away. So, and then I go see what's in the market, if I can buy anything, if it's not expensive, and if it's available, I'd buy something from the market. Once I'm back, it's probably like I've been in the market for like 2 hours, 3 hours, like talking about, like, walking back and forth. There's really not much to say. Like, you get everything done. You try to find food, you try to find water, you try to find a place to charge your phone. The day's pretty boring. There's not much to do, there's not much to say about what I do, on my day to day. It's pretty boring.
You get
there's nothing exciting about it.
Yeah, no, I understand. You have you shoot these things that you post on TikTok, you post on Instagram, you shoot these videos.
Yeah.
And yes, he is Yusuf is currently in Gaza as well. He's in one of the Israeli designated safer zones, from what I understand, right? And you're I mean, you're as safe as one can be, in all things considered. How many times have you moved around at this point?
In the past, let's say 7 weeks, I've evacuated my area 3 times. So I was in my house, and then I evacuated to a tent, and then I went back to my house, and then we got an evacuation order again at my place. So I went to a place that's much farther. That place got an evacuation order, so I left again, and here I am. So it's probably around like 4 or 3 times in the past 7 weeks, which is outrageous. Imagine having to leave the area that you're comfortable in, or an area that that you feel safe in 3 times in a row, which is
Yeah.
and I feel like I evacuate after I feel comfortable in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after I left my house, I was in an apartment, and I started to get really comfortable in that area. And as soon as I got really comfortable, an evacuation order happened. So it's pretty sad.
Yeah. Um, so as far as like being able to do social media goes, like are your parents happy with your social media footprint? Are they excited that you're able to show the day-to-day experiences? Has that been helpful in some ways?
I mean, yeah, my parents are completely fine with it. They find it really helpful that I can, support them financially with everything that's going on. Life in Gaza is really expensive. Food, water, rent. There are places that are for rent here, and they're really expensive. Like the prices are like New York prices, like
No,
$1,200
it's
for
more
some
expensive than
places.
New York now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my parents are really happy that I'm supporting them financially with the content.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so that plays a big role, right? Like I feel like there's a lot of there are a lot of Palestinians who are able to make content, all things considered, in spite of everything else, and then like that allows people to be able to open up like GoFundmes and like directly fund their families and in the aid and recovery efforts. So what was I going to say? So you have a limited amount of time, but what did you used to do before all this happened? Like what were some of your hobbies?
I want to answer that, but I want to add back to the last question. And my parents are really happy that I'm working with a charity. I'm raising money for a charity. I think I've raised over $1 million so far for Human Concern International. And so we help orphans. We provide help to every people. Like we give out food boxes from time to time when we can. So yeah, my parents are really happy that I'm supporting my family and the entirety of Gaza as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I'd like
Um,
to discuss and ask it again.
what's up? What was the last
Yeah,
thing you said?
back to the question earlier.
Yeah.
Ask it again. I didn't really.
Oh,
Yeah.
the question was what preoccupied your time before everything, all the chaos unfolded? Like what did you do for fun? Like what are some of your hobbies?
I mean, before the war, I was like any other teenager. I used to go to school, play video games sometimes, hit the gym, and yeah, I was also a freelancer. I used to be a thumbnail designer and video editor. So that I had a lot of stuff going on before the war, and because the war happened, I can't really work my job, that job that I used to work before the war, because I don't have electricity to turn on my laptop. As a freelancer, like I need like my job needs I need to run my laptop, which I can't because there's no electricity. And
Yeah.
the gym that I went to completely wiped out. It's destroyed. I made a video about it on YouTube. And yeah, my school also, I can't go to school anymore. I can't even do online school because there's no good internet, to do online school. My school, there are people living in my school. They're displaced in my school, which is, kind of sad. The place that I used to study in is now a place for shelter. So yeah,
Um.
I was like any normal teenager. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your favorite football team? Do
I
you
don't
watch
really watch
soccer?
football, man.
You don't want
No,
what?
no, no. No, no, I
Oh
don't.
no, I don't either. No, okay, cool. And everyone always makes fun of me. When I was growing up in Turkey, everyone was like, "How do you not have a favorite team?" And I had to lie and be like, "Oh, I like Fenerbahce." Do you ever have to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
You have to just kind of lie and be like, "Yeah, I like I don't know, Real Madrid or something." You good?
Yeah, I had to do that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's the call lagging.
Yeah, it's lagging a little bit, but you're good now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Is that your brother? in the
My brother's
background.
next to me. Uh, he said he doesn't look good right now. Just come on, man.
He doesn't look good right now. That's crazy. Tell him to get
Abu,
in
just come
here. Tell
on.
him to get in here and say hi.
Just say hi, bro. He said, okay, he's fixing his hair right now.
Okay, how old is your brother?
He's 14 years old. He's 2
Okay.
years younger than me. Abu, come on here. You look good. Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Come right. It's good.
What's good,
Here's
King?
Abu.
You look good. You look good, brother. You don't have to worry. Your hair looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like oh
He makes videos
man.
as well.
What's up?
He makes videos as well.
Yeah. There were some people in the chat that were saying that they love his videos as well. They wanted him to hear it. Yeah, that's incredible. So what was your favorite subject when you were studying? Did you like school when you were going? Or did you hate?
Yeah, I did. I liked school. Nah, I liked school. My school was amazing, man. I liked the people that were there as well. And it's sad that every classmate of mine is like not in Gaza anymore. It's kind of sad and kind of, I'm kind of like happy for them also. It's sad because we were all so, in that classroom, we were also connected with each other. And now we're also separated because of the war. Like some of my classmates are in the middle of the world right now, some are in Australia, some are in Egypt, some are in America. And it's sad that the war separated all of us, the bond that we had in school.
Yeah.
So yeah, my favorite subject was, I would say, physics. I was good at physics. But I would say history. Yeah, we get to
History.
study American history.
American history.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna quiz you right now. What's your favorite founding father?
Bro, okay. I kind of forgot everything, man. 21 months without school, man.
I'm kidding. Don't worry. I'm just messing with you. I don't want to put you on the spot. Oh man. Okay, so you like physics and you like history. That's cool. Okay. I'm grading you on all this. You're on your answers. Okay. And now do you, like you said, most of your time is preoccupied with just like going to places to get food. So let's talk about that. What does that experience look like for people in America to fully understand?
So I would, okay, let me think. So let's say you're walking an hour every day, back and forth, like an hour to the market, staying in the market for like an hour probably, and then going back home, or like that's like 3 hours, 4 hours, just trying to look for food. Like like the eggs that you have for breakfast. I mean, we don't even have eggs in Gaza. Eggs don't exist here.
Yeah.
So I would like, if you just to make breakfast in general, you have to go to the market, you have to buy wood, all of those 5 hours, and then you have to heat up the wood, 5 hours and a half, let's say, and then let's say you go out by 8 a.m. To look to like buy food, go to the market, get wood so you can heat it up. By 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. you'll have your breakfast meal. That's if you find, good quality food to eat. Yeah, today I only ate rice and some, what was it? Yeah, rice and a salad today, and that's a luxury. That's like eating from Salt Bay. I think he has a restaurant.
Salt Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of the stuff that normally would be, immediately something that you could like figure out immediately, you have to. It takes a long time to do. It takes a long time to conduct, and then. Is there an environment like how safe do you feel just walking around with regular frequency when you're walking around in daylight?
I mean, there's you're in a war. There's a chance of danger at all times. So sometimes I'd be walking and I'd be like, okay, what if a bomb drops here right now? You never know. It's like I'm walking and then I imagine as if a strike comes here, and then I imagine myself getting dragged to the hospital. It's very depressing, very sad to visualize and think about. But that just goes through my head whilst I'm walking to the street, and it's really sad that if I was like, let's say, walking in the US or walking back when I was in the UAE, I never had to think about these stuff when I was walking, like before this war happened. I never had to worry that I might die in the next minute whilst walking. And it's like you might go to the market and might like not come back home with the food needed for your family because you got striked in the market or striked whilst walking.
Yeah.
It's a really sad reality, but alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when we were talking earlier before we went live, because I was driving, you said like a bomb dropped that you could hear, like from in your near vicinity, and I feel like for the normal person living in the comforts of the West, like that is a like I mean your lack of response to it was shocking. Like, do you feel like you've gotten like used to this sort of thing where this is just an ongoing part of everyday life at this point?
I mean, yeah, at the beginning of the war, like when a bomb drops, I used to be so scared. But now I got so desensitized to it that it's literally like a normal day thing. It's like hearing the birds chirping outside. It's really sad that we got so desensitized to stuff that we shouldn't really be desensitized to. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
As far as your connection to the outside world, so I know that the internet is like very limited. How does that process work? Because I know that there's like eSIMs that people use. Like, how do you get access to the internet, or guaranteed access to the internet? Really, because like there are times when there's like blackouts that are implemented, and when we hear about it, but there's still ultimately like some way of communicating with the rest of the world. How does that work?
Okay, wait, the lights just went out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, let me just. Okay, wait, I'm gonna set up the flashlight. Just keep holding it. Okay, is this lighting good? Is it good?
Yeah, it's
The lights
perfect.
just went out there. All right.
So electricity just goes out in the strip. It just happens.
It's like a battery. I think the battery just ran out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Battery went out of it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's. Let me just try to set up the lights.
Don't
I
worry
think
about it.
okay.
Don't worry about it. This is perfectly fine.
Wait, just give me a sec. Yeah, you almost knocked out the camera. Fine, bro. All right, get a camera. Get a light here. Get a phone light here. You don't have your phone? Use it. Yeah, go away. Set it up here. Okay, I think this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Yes, this.
All right, we're back.
All right. Perfect. No, this is great. Okay. So so everything is powered by batteries, I assume, right? This is something that we've seen a lot. Like it just there's not a lot of like working. There's no like electrical grid that's in operation at this point, right? In most parts of the strip.
Yeah. So it's like we use batteries, and these batteries we charge them with solar power, solar panels. So yeah. Oh, feel Am I?
I was asking if the lighting.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, the lights
Sorry,
are fine. You don't even need to use all those lights. Like you don't need to, use your you can conserve your energy. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It looks great.
You don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I am worried about it. But in any case, okay. So so the electricity grid is completely shut off at this point, right? Like in most parts of the strip. Are there areas where there's like, I mean, hospitals are using generators, right? Like that's just the situation, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no fuel. There's not that much fuel, and fuel is really expensive. So let's say you do own a generator, fuel is gonna be really expensive for you. So you're not gonna run it, even if you have your own generator. Why waste your money on a few hours of electricity when you can spend it on food? So
Yeah.
yeah, people just if you have enough money to buy solar panels, you can use it. If your neighbor has solar panels, you'll charge your devices at his place. That's what I do. My neighbor has solar panels, and I just charge them. I just charge my stuff at his place.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the electricity side. But on the internet side, how does that work? Like, do you guys get eSIMs, or how is there like reliable internet?
So with eSIMs, not eSIMs only work on really up-to-date devices, which are like iPhone 10 and up. My phone doesn't support an eSIM, but my neighbor's phone does. I just use his when I do have to use an eSIM. But the telecom companies do kind of work here. So yeah, there are like still so like I don't really know how to explain it, but there are like public Wi-Fi connections that are set up by the telecom companies, and people buy a card off like the store, not off the store, like they just buy a card of someone selling it in the street, and this internet card will basically give you like 6 hours of internet or 8 hours of internet, and yeah, that's how it works.
So you're using that right now to be able to talk to us.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I mean, right now, like my neighbor, I mean, in some places that weren't, you know, as destroyed as much, telecom still work. Like people with routers, they still work. But back in my house, like when I was in my house, there was no Wi-Fi, there was no internet. I remember at the beginning of the war, we had internet, and I used to power my router with a battery, and yeah, I had to evacuate my house at the beginning of the war. For like a few months, and then when I came back, all the internet lines were destroyed. You know, they were cut off. You know, from the destruction that has happened. So if you're in a place that doesn't have that much destruction and lines are still there, like the internet lines, you probably do still have internet. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
all really like dependent on the area that you're in, and it's more of a preference thing of what you choose to use. Because if you have an iPhone, you can use an eSIM. If you don't, you can use like the public Wi-Fi connections. And one thing with the eSIMs, there's no cellular powers here. Cellular, how do you spell it? Cellular power, cellular. Okay, wait, how do I say it? Cellular
Cellular.
towers here.
Cellular
You have to
towers.
go really high up, like 4 floors up, just for the eSIM to catch
Yeah.
a signal.
Okay. So we talked about electricity. We talked about internet.
Yeah.
So what I've talked to you about this already, but what can people do in America or in the Western world to help out as many people as possible, people like yourself and many others right now?
So what I would say is, listen, if you're like, let's say you're as old as me, you're 16, I would say social media. If you let's say you don't have money, you don't work a job, you don't make money, you don't make enough money to donate, or you're not in a position to donate, to help people. I would say social media is your biggest weapon. You can literally, like I have a video on one of my I have a video on on TikTok that got 10 million views, and it's like, if you phrase stuff the right way, if you show it the right way, you can go viral. So if you, let's say, like, you talk about someone's fundraiser and you talk in a specific way that makes the video go viral, and yeah, you can do that. You can do that, and that's gonna do very well for you. It's very well for the fund, like, to help. So yeah, if you have enough time to do that, and if you still want to help, if you want to find any way to help, you can do that. And let's say you don't have time to that. Let's say you don't have time to do that, but you do have the money. I would say donate. But if you can do both, donate and share on social media, interact with videos, make videos of your own, advertising, fundraisers. Then yeah, that's a lot already that you can do, and people like us in Gaza would appreciate that so much. And yeah, that's literally more than enough, and everyone's trying as much as they can to help. So yeah, do your best.
Okay. That's great advice. So, how does that process work? Because there's a lot of people that make GoFundmes and stuff, and there is a way for those funds to directly reach out, right, to the people that are in Gaza right now, like over the internet.
Yeah, but there's a catch. So because there's like a liquidity crisis in Gaza, there's not that much circulating money. There's not much money that's circulating around.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pay a very massive fee. So, in this morning, I went to the market and I went to an exchange center, and I was gonna exchange, like, I think $2,000, which is in Gaza that's like enough for a week or two. So I exchanged $2,000, and in exchange I got $1,000, like $1,200 or $1,100, around that. And why is that? I sent him $2,000, and I use crypto to transact my fundraiser money. So I sent this guy $2,000 and I got 1,100. Why is that? Because the liquidity crisis in Gaza is, there's not much money entering, and yeah, it's basically it. So we have to pay like 40% or 42% fee to get our money in our hands, which is really sad that half of our money is basically gone, and like life in Gaza is so expensive already that this little thing caused such a huge problem for us. The liquidity crisis. So
Yeah.
yeah, paying 40%. Like let's say you raise $10,000. Once you send it to Gaza, you're gonna get 6,000 or 5,800. You know, that's like half of the money gone, which is crazy. And
Yeah.
let's say the borders open and you know the situation gets better, that fee gets lower, which will be probably like 2%, or you know, potentially non-existent, depending on the situation. So yeah, like the borders being closed right now is you know really bad, and like there's not that much of an influx of you know products entering or trade happening. So there's not that much liquidity in Gaza, and the prices are really expensive. And you know it's a mess.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
you said earlier when we were talking that you haven't gone to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid distribution sites. In the past, from what I understand, there were 400 different aid sites all around the Strip that were operated by the United Nations, UNRWA, and many other groups like humanitarian. No. I'm saying in the past, like
Yeah.
when normal aid distribution was happening. But the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid spots are 3. There's 4, but apparently there's only 3 that works. And even in that situation, there's a lot of chaos that takes place on these sites at the point of aid distribution. What is your reason for going to the market rather than going to those aid locations, supposedly quote unquote aid locations?
So me personally, I don't go there because you know I've heard some horrific stories, and I'm scared if I do go there, something might happen to me. You know, you never know what could happen. So yeah, I'd rather you know spend money rather than risk my life. And some people don't have the luxury that I have. You know, of
Yeah.
having a fundraiser page to you know go to the market and just buy stuff. Some people don't have that, and a lot of people don't have that. And you know, so it's like they're all almost risking their life just to you know get
Yeah.
food for their children. You know, really sad. And yeah, it's just really sad.
Do you have any idea like what would you say, what percentage of the population would you say is like in a more fortunate position such as yourself, where they at least have like a roof over their heads, even though their electricity is gone, and you know, I wouldn't say your conditions are good, but as opposed to like living in a tent, it seems like it's a little bit better. It's a more privileged position. What does that look like?
Like what exactly?
Like, do you know, like, do you have any idea what percentage of the population is currently stuck in like tents, as opposed to like being able to have shelter, like a roof over their heads? Or because you've talked about your school and how people are sheltering in your school, it seems like there are a lot of people that are now devoid of a home. Like they're completely. I assume they're coming from North Gaza too, mostly, right?
And the south as well.
And what?
And the south as well.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people that have been displaced and now have moved from place to place. And I'm saying, like, do you have an estimate of what the percentage of the population looks like for like how many people have been displaced?
I think I've read a statistic. I think it's more than 80%.
Wow.
So let me count. There are like how many? Let me just count the area. So there's like, I think 6 cities in Gaza. Let me count them. So there's Rafah, Khan Yunis, there's Deir al-Balah, Zawaida, Sarah, and the north of Gaza. Let's just count as that. So north of Gaza completely evacuated. Rafah completely evacuated. Khan Yunis, a huge part of it was evacuated. Only the western side or the beach side is still there. And like the people that were on the eastern side and like also on the middle side, all evacuated to that western area. They're living in tents as well, and that place is like really empty, so it's just full of tents. And Deir al-Balah recently evacuated. I was in Deir al-Balah, and I evacuated to Zawaida. So there's like 2 cities that have not, that are not under evacuations yet. And the statistic from what I read, it was like months ago, it's like 80%. I would say it's probably 85%. It's really high. Don't quote me on this. I could be wrong. It's statistics, but
Yeah. So,
yeah.
With everything that's unfolding, what you have access to the internet from time to time. You see things. I assume you're like fairly tapped into what's happening in the Western world and like the things that occupy people's minds here. Um, what do you say to people that after 21 months, 22 months almost of all of this chaos and violence that still turn a blind eye to everything that's going on, to the experiences that you're having?
I mean, like, you won't really understand how it's like until you live it. So, there's a lot of stuff that you simply won't understand unless you live here. And there's stuff that I simply can't talk about. Not as in like someone's telling me not to talk about them. It's like stuff that just happens mentally that you won't really understand unless you're here. So I would say some people really turn a blind eye to that. Gaza before the war, and even currently, there are people that are really smart in Gaza. We have people who skateboard. We have people who, code. We have people who, work as video editors. We have, we were a functioning society, and we have really smart people. We have people that, my classmate is on a scholarship. My classmate is on a scholarship to America. He's a really smart guy. And I think people just think that, because we're in a war and just because we're currently in a war right now and Gaza's like, under, let's say, like a blockade, they think that there are people that are, not educated, or there are people that, that they can't relate to, if that makes sense. So I would say people, like, we're humans as well. People gotta realize that. We have
Yeah.
dreams, we have ambitions, and because of the war, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Like, let me just continue. Sorry for
No,
cutting
go
off.
ahead.
So, like before the war, I had many ambitions, and like I wanted to, be financially free, so I can, retire my parents, like many people in the West do. And because of the war, I can't really work towards my goal of that because, instead of, going after my dreams or continuing my education or, um, continuing my hobbies, I'm looking for food, I'm looking for water, I'm trying to find electricity. I can't even I don't even have time to be myself. I don't even have time for people, in my personal life as well. Like because of the war, because of everything that's happened, I, barely call my dad as much. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's not because I don't want to call him. It's for the opposite reason. I do want to call him, but because of everything that has happened, I don't have enough mental space to do that. So yeah, like we're normal people, and all of our ambitions and dreams all gone because of the war. The longer the war continues, the farther we are from our dreams and ambitions. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a sad reality, but hard times make strong men. So we gotta live through the hard times.
Yeah. No, you're great. By the way, you for as long as you're comfortable going on, we can continue talking. I just want to make sure that you're good because I know you
Yeah,
had a limit. So
don't worry, don't worry.
okay, perfect. And there was another thing that I wanted to ask you about, as far as we talked about aid delivery. There's like what do you think is something that a lot of people get wrong in the West, like a lot of people outside of Gaza get wrong about your day-to-day existence from what you have seen?
I think people. That's a really good question, and I give you an answer to this. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm trying to look for a better answer.
I
Like
think
I'll
your
just say
answer
it.
originally when we were talking on the phone before was good. I mean, you can talk about that, or you can elaborate on it, or expand on it, or talk about something else as well.
So I think people really get wrong. What people really get wrong is, what I said earlier about, we're normal people. We're not dumb, if that makes sense. We have ambitions and dreams and everything. And what I told you earlier was about the food situation. The food situation in Gaza. It's been horrible for the past 4 months, or since May. The borders closed on May. Yeah, during Ramadan. The first 3 days of Ramadan. On the third day, the border closed, and it's been closed since then. And the media is only covering, what's happening. Like something that happened 3 months ago, the media is picking up on it just now, which is, kind of crazy. And I think what people just really get wrong is the food situation, because it's really unstable. some days you might find food, some days you might not, some days you might food that's really cheap, some days you might find food that's really expensive. The situation I can't really like summarize the situation in in a sentence because it's changing every day. It could be really good one day, could be really bad one day, but ever since March, not March,
Right.
May, it's been a complete downhill.
Yeah. And
So,
you're
yeah.
saying that you're seeing the media report on the famine and the conditions only now, as opposed to months ago when people were warning about it, when Palestinians were speaking out about it. Yeah, that's definitely a real. There's definitely a real issue. It's the American media is spectacularly late, almost criminal in how late they are to this conversation. Have you heard of France recognizing Palestine and Canada recognizing Palestine? Potentially, like these are Western countries that are now saying that they will offer official state recognition to Palestine. Do you feel like that gives you a sense of hope?
I mean, yeah, it definitely makes me feel safer in these places. I think one of my friends, when he was applying for a scholarship to America, I think a student visa, he couldn't put Palestine on it, like on a U.S. student visa. He couldn't put Palestine. He had to put Jordan, and he wasn't even born in Jordan. He was born in Palestine.
Yeah.
So these countries recognizing us makes us feel seen. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, it definitely makes us feel safer, makes us feel seen, makes us feel more human. It's crazy how we get like inhumane treatment in some places.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you
If that was anything, like you can look like
what were you gonna say? I can't hear you. Say it again.
if the chat wants to ask anything, like you can get some questions from there.
Oh
If the
yeah,
chat
no.
has any questions.
Yeah. Okay. This guy is commanding the stream. Okay, I'm shutting off my camera. Is user stream now? Okay. Jesus Christ, he's you're taking over, dude. You're coming for my job. All right. Anyway, what kind of questions do you guys have for Yusuf? I'll feed them to you.
Streaming?
What?
Should I consider streaming like one day?
I mean, it's tremendous amount of bandwidth, but yeah, that'd be great if you can. I mean, it's up to you.
What site is better?
Yeah. I mean, is Twitch good or is YouTube or Kick? I don't really know like which.
Definitely not. I mean, I wouldn't say Kick, but YouTube is good. Twitch is good. They're wherever you can stream if you want to show your everyday existence, like that's definitely, that would definitely be good. I just don't know. I don't know how that would work, or if you feel like that would put a crosshair on you at all, because you're like showing it in real time, like you're live broadcasting, because that's not something that I've really seen other than like the Al Jazeera feed, like, it's not something that I've really seen, but TikTok obviously also is a place where you can live stream too. Sometimes I see people streaming on TikTok, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really move around and stream because the data isn't really that good.
Yeah.
It would be like just sitting down and talking.
Yeah. How's the situation? Someone said, how's the situation for clean drinking water in Gaza?
In some places it's harder to get water. In some places it's easier. But there is clean water. You can definitely find clean water. Depending on your area, it's going to be harder than other places. In my area, I buy like 10 liters of water, which is like a gallon of water, for like $1. Yeah, $2 for 20 liters. Some people, they don't have money to spare for water, so they wait for these water trucks to come by, and they just fill up water from them for free. Yeah, so it just really depends on where you are, but there is clean water. There is clean water. Like, thank God, there is like what do you call them? There are wells in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are so many wells, especially in my city. I'm like from Khan Yunis. There are so many wells there, and it's like one more thing. That city is like more than half of it is under evacuation orders. That city has the most wells, so you can definitely like see the water prices going up. And yeah, a bomb dropped off. I think Discord has like a gate.
Yeah, there's a noise gate. We didn't hear it.
Should I turn it off?
No, no, I mean, it's fine. It's up to you. Do you hear drones right now, for example, above you or anything like that?
Alhamdulillah. No.
Okay, there's no,
As
yeah,
of right.
we don't hear any of the buzzing anyway. So even if there were, it's the noise gate's pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
but back in my house there were so many drones. You would hear them on like a 24-hour basis.
do you
Yeah.
chatters are asking this, like, do you watch any TV? Do you have any like on your phone? Is there anything that you've like stashed, stored that you're able to watch?
I'm
Shows?
trying to watch movies. I'm trying to watch movies, but what was it called? My internet isn't that good. You know, I can't really download the full movie.
What have you
I
been
did watch.
watching? What have you been
I
trying to
watched the main.
watch?
I want to watch Fight Club. I've been trying to watch it for like almost a year now, but my internet just doesn't like load it.
Fight
I
Club?
watched. Yeah, I want to watch it so bad, man. Yeah, I watched The Matrix though. The Matrix is a good movie.
That's cool.
What
Okay.
else? I wanted to watch Wolf of Wall Street. They're like very basic movies. I don't know. I'm not that much of a movie, watcher. But yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. Also wanted to watch it, and one about a soldier going to war. I wanted to watch that movie as well. And I can't really remember the name. But yeah, I can't really watch these movies because there's not like the internet isn't that good.
The guy who made Wolf of Wall Street, Martin Scorsese, he's pro Palestine. I
Yeah,
don't know if
that's
you knew that.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
I
He
didn't know.
yeah, he was promoting the poet, the Palestinian poet Mossab Abu Toha when he was winning these awards. So he's pro Palestine. I mean, I don't know. Does that make you feel, is that cool when you hear stuff like that?
Yeah, it's cool to hear stuff like that. Hearing people that I used to watch, that they're standing with us.
Yeah.
That's
Do you feel like you've noticed that even in the Western world, like the environment has changed a lot in the way that like people see Palestinians? Because I feel like, at least for me, I've been doing this for 10, 12 years now. And in my experience, like when I talked about Palestine 10 years ago, people would be like, what do you mean Pakistan? Like, what are you talking about? Either they didn't know what it was or immediately were like, oh, you're anti-Semitic. Like, so, but now I
I don't know if
think, what would you say?
I don't know if they're Semite.
Yeah, that too. But but now I feel like there has definitely been a major attitude shift, even in places like I'm from Turkey. Obviously, it's different there, but in America and in the Western world, like in France, in Europe, there's definitely an attitude change where people are just like openly, people are openly in favor of Palestinians and Palestinian freedom and emancipation. Have you noticed that? Do you feel like that gives you a sense of hope?
I mean, yeah, it's really amazing to see that people are seeing what's happening to us, and they're seeing the struggles that we are facing every day, and I'm really happy that there are people supporting us. It really makes me smile seeing people in protests, raising our flag, standing up for our cause. It really makes me happy to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Your mom.
yeah, tell her. All right, we got 30 minutes because my mom's calling. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No worries. Once again, thank you so much for all the time that you've given us. This has been an enlightening conversation. So, do you okay? What about going to the beach? Like Gaza has beautiful beaches. Is that not allowed? Because that's like what I've seen in the reports. Overall, is it a dangerous prospect?
I mean, personally, I haven't went to the beach. The beach is really far from where. I mean, I won't say it's really far, but I would say I wouldn't risk it. I would say better safe than sorry, and everything basically. Yeah, I've heard some news saying that fishermen can't go to the sea. I'm not saying this, out of nothing. This is literally on news. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, me and my friends plan to go to the sea together. Just to just swim. And then an evacuation order happened as soon as that happened, as soon as we wanted to go to the beach. And I think after that evacuation order, the sea, like I think Israel announced that we can't go to the sea. So it's kind of sad that we can't. Like it's like one of our only ways of releasing bad energy or negative energy. Just completely gone like that.
Do you play any sports, or did you play any sports? Because you said you don't watch soccer, which is fine. I mean, I don't either. But is there any sports that you were interested in when you were growing up?
I would say, I mean, mainly weightlifting, but I wouldn't say I was really that, interested in it. What was it called?
Do you know
I used to
Jim Rat
play.
and Gaza? Are you guys homies?
Yeah, the friend I was talking about that wanted to go to the beach with is him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's
My neighbors actually evacuated. We've been neighbors like ever since. Like he evacuated his house, and we've been neighbors for months. And then I had to evacuate to an area, and he had to evacuate into an area. So it's kind of sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So, sports
he
and-
sometimes he talks to my friend here who is a gym content creator, Jeff Nippert. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
You know Jeff Nippert? Jeff is the man. He's great.
Yeah. I love him, man. He's a good guy. I love him.
Yeah, one day we're all gonna get it
And
lifted.
seeing him in contact with my friend is really
Yeah, we're all gonna
What?
we're all of us one day we're gonna get it lifted, inshallah. Okay, we're gonna work out together. Are you there, Yusuf? Can you hear me?
inshallah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Are there any other
more than
gym
happy.
Are there any other gym content creators that you know about or you watch? You know Bradley Martin?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Bradley Martin. He's a good guy. He's pretty entertaining.
That's so funny. Who do you like? Do you know who? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna ask you a crazy one. Do you know who Togi is?
Yeah, I know Togi, the gambling addict.
The gambling
Yeah,
guy.
man.
You know, so you know all the gym content creators. That's like you know all of them. Okay,
Yeah,
I've
man.
met all those guys. They're you're tapped in. You're tapped in. You know what's going on. What do you think about what's his name? Greg Doucette. Do you know that one?
Yeah, Greg Doucette. Yeah.
Greg Doucette.
He's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah,
Greg
we have beef,
Doucette.
me and him.
Well, what happened?
I can't remember. He just talks so much shit. He was talking shit about me too. I think it was because I was talking about he was saying some crazy shit about how people are fat because they're stupid and can't control themselves. And I was like, there's environmental factors or whatever. And then he got mad and then he plugged his book in his YouTube video being like, Hasan, this guy. He's like, this guy's an asshole.
I mean, you're taller than him, so like, you automatically win the argument.
That's true. I'm taller than all of those guys, to be fair.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4", 194.
Okay, you're taller than me. I'm 6'1".
Damn, you're tall as hell. Okay. You don't play any basketball?
Yeah, going back to the sports question, I used to play basketball, volleyball, sometimes football during like the recess time in school, but I didn't really play it like often. It was like mainly in school.
Yeah. Let me think. Who else? So you are really into the gym stuff. You're really into working out. Have you been trying? Like Jim Rat in Gaza will film himself working out with like makeshift dumbbells and stuff like that. Have you tried doing that as well? Doing a little bit of calisthenics?
I mean, me personally, I don't wanna. What's it called? I don't want to do that. I don't want to, because there's not like, let's say I work out and you get the muscle tears. You don't have nutrition to
Yeah.
to recover,
Yeah.
and you don't like. I don't wanna spend too much water. I don't wanna put too much pressure on the water that I use. So I can't really shower every day. So yeah, like after I work out and stuff. So yeah.
No, I feel that for sure.
I'm gonna work out after the war.
You're gonna work out what?
Once the war ends, or if I leave Gaza.
Okay.
If I leave Gaza, when I leave Gaza, or when the war ends, I'm gonna go back to the gym, and yeah, I lost all my muscles, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you still got some. You're still packing.
Yeah,
You're still pretty you're still pretty brolic, dude. You got some meat on those bones. It's good.
Wait, I didn't hear anything you said the past.
Oh yeah,
15
we
seconds.
got yeah, the connection dropped, I think. I was saying no, I said you're muscular. You still got some muscles.
Yeah.
How long?
Wait,
I mean, yeah, not as much, man.
No.
How long are you going to take?
Wait, one sec. Tell her 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay, yeah. My mom's just calling to sleep because I'm not like at a place right now.
You're not what?
Where I'm at.
Wait, it's cutting in and out. What did you say?
Oh, because I'm at my neighbor's house. My mom's just checking on.
Yeah.
My mom's just checking when
Yeah.
I'm coming back home.
Yeah. Is it scary? Is it dangerous to go back to your place at night? Because it's nighttime right now.
I miss my neighbor. It's like really, really close.
Uh-huh.
It's like, like my
That's
neighbor's house is like in 10 steps. Like it's not that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good. And be safe. That's what's important. So, what do I?
That was
What
a question for you.
okay, let's hear it.
Come here. Let's hear from the man.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that Elon Musk hates you. Elon hates you or something.
It is true. He does hate me. Man, Abu is tapped in, bro. He's tapped in. He knows what's going on. Yeah, it's because well, what I don't like him either, but I had his baby mama on my stream before, and you know,
I saw.
he got really jealous because they had broken up. Do you know who Grimes is? Grimes, Elon Musk's baby mama.
Son? No.
No. His Grimes is Elon Musk's the mother of Elon Musk's children, like his girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. No.
Yeah, so
I mean, I've
his
heard of
ex,
it, but I
his
don't
ex,
know
they were broken up at the time. So then he's not been a fan of mine for years and years, and then he was like talking shit on Twitter, being like, because I played a video game and I did an ad for a video game, and then he was talking shit. He's like, Hasan is a fraud, which is crazy because he's like one of the most powerful people on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, how stupid. I'm just like some regular dude, you know? Why the fuck do you know who I am? But after that, I had his daughter on, Vivian, and she's great. They're no longer in contact with one another. He has a trans daughter, Vivian.
Yeah.
And I had her on the stream as well. And you know, he's not a big fan of mine, Elon.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've seen the team. I've seen you both together. You and Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian. Yeah. But it originally started with Grimes, who was Elon Musk's like ex-girlfriend, and the mother of his children.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm more in the lives of Elon Musk's kids than he is. Apparently, he's not really there. He's too busy being evil.
Yeah, that's ironic.
Yeah. Who are some other? What did you say?
Yeah, what are you saying?
I heard that he opened like some Tesla restaurants.
Yeah, he opened a Tesla restaurant. I've seen a video about that.
He did. It sucks. It sucks. It's like a diner, and it was for a limited time. That's crazy. Yo, your brother is tapped in, Yusuf. He knows what's up. What other things has he heard? Here, tell me all about the stuff that you heard, or you want to, if you have any questions, I can answer them.
Like the reason why I'm so tapped in is because what else are we supposed to do? We're always like on the devices, like 24/7.
Yeah.
That's when we're like not filling up water. We're not like looking for food, not looking for electricity.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
You know, stuff like that.
I feel you. Do you guys like iShow
But,
Speed?
like I usually, huh?
Do you guys like iShow Speed?
I wouldn't say I like him, but he's like, I don't have an opinion on him. But he's a cool guy. Like what he's done for himself is great. I mean, he's an entertainer.
Oh, okay. All right. You really do not fuck with soccer at all. I see. Yeah, he's Mr. Free Palestine. He's always saying that all around the world.
Yeah, he always says it.
Yeah. Okay. Who is your favorite content creator then, Yusuf? Like other than like Jeff Nippert and those guys, and you too, Abood, right? Is your brother's name?
Yeah, Abdurrahman.
Abdurrahman. Who's your favorite content creator? Who do you like the most? Who do you watch the most?
I don't really have one, just because like there's so many, and haven't been like watching YouTube as much as of recently because there hasn't been Wi-Fi like most of the time. So I'm usually just on my device, maybe creating a video or just watching a video that I have downloaded from YouTube or something. But like I usually just use it for either entertainment or educational purposes.
Yeah,
That's but one of the things.
Who are some of your influences, like for content creation? Like, who do you look at and you're like, I want to be like that guy?
It's very hard to like get influence because we're in such a special environment. Because if you look at all the people that create content, you are a big influence. But he's saying
Yeah,
globally.
exactly. I'm asking like, who do you like in the content sphere beyond Yusuf, who I'm sure has been a great influence to you. He's a good older brother.
By what do you mean, like inspiration or just watch in generally, or I like them as a person? What do you think?
Yeah. Do you like Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
What do I think of him?
No, do you know Mr. Beast? Do you like Mr. Beast?
He doesn't creating content. He's been in the space for a long time.
Yeah.
And despite things they can take from him in content creation, but not the heavy intensive stuff that he does. That what do they call
the really entertaining videos.
no what is it called? The editing style that he uses, it doesn't really work with us if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Gotta be more you, authentic, and you gotta be a little slower than that, just so people get the story. And that's something that I think you can definitely learn from and take from him. He's good at storytelling. I think he started getting into starting to slow down and getting longer videos, which I think is good for him and the brand, because and the story is more memorable. And I think it's good. He creates good content, and that's what I think of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me have my answer.
Okay. What was
okay, I would say yeah. Hey, go on.
Go ahead. Oh, no, I'm listening.
Have you heard of Sneeko? You probably have. What do you think of him?
Oh God. he's not let's just say he's not my favorite. Okay. He's not a big fan of mine. He apparently he used to be, but then he is he's too right wing. I'm not a right wing guy. He, on the other hand, is very right wing. But there are a lot of people that are online in America that speak about Palestine that might not be super knowledgeable about what's going on. Also, I grew up Muslim. You know what I mean? He reverted to Islam, I think, or something. He said he did. I don't know if he still practices or not. But it's just, I feel like he's not a very good presentation. He's not a very good advocate for Palestine in general.
I mean, he's I don't really watch his streams. I think the streams are pure entertainment, which isn't really what I want. I want some value as well. His Twitter posts, the Twitter videos, the Twitter vlogs. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, he's a very talented editor, if that's what you're saying. He has a good understanding, but I feel like it falls by the wayside because he just doesn't use it for good. That's the way I see it, at least.
Wi-Fi turned off? No, it's bad. It's there. Oh shoot.
You know what I mean?
Your voice cut off for the past your voice cut off. 20 seconds.
Then I hear anything he said.
Yeah, he's we just don't see eye to eye on the world, regardless of his position on Palestine. I think I don't really fuck with Andrew Tate or any of those guys either. I think they're not a very good overall positive influence on young men in general. Yeah. I also think that what's up? Go ahead.
For me, it's just extract the good from them. From Sneak, I don't really watch his streams. As I said before, the streams are I don't really find them useful. But he's a really talented editor. He's a good storyteller. So that's the the good that I find in him. And with Andrew Tate, it's only take the good advice. I think he he fucks around too much with what he says. But
yeah,
I would
they're
say
fake. They're fake. They're fake. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
They're fake. They're not.
That's really good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, look, enjoy whatever you enjoy. You're this is the one instance where I'm not gonna. I'm sure people will be like, "What the fuck?" But you're in your circumstances. I'm not gonna hold that over you. What else? Who else do you like?
No, I'm not saying I watched Sneak 100. I just said I extract the good from them. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So who else did I watch? Um, hmm.
But yeah, me and Sneeko have beef.
Yeah, your friends deleted all the memory.
What do you say?
I forgot I don't know, like I literally forgot everyone that I watched.
His memory became a goldfish now.
Okay, bro, you don't gotta roast me like that.
I wish I could roast you.
Okay, bro.
Need some beef, man.
We need some action beef.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way, but you get me.
No, like it hasn't meat. There's no meat that entered Gaza the past the past few months now.
And eggs, and milk,
And eggs.
fruit. You don't want me to get too high fruit.
Yeah, man.
Maybe you want.
No, but it's fine. We got tone it down a bit.
Okay.
All right. Oh, you had your time, bro. Go sit down.
What's your favorite color?
Okay, bro.
I took his job.
All right. I don't think they're supposed to see this, man. Just go sit down. Sit
I
down.
don't know how much I want. I want meat.
Okay, bro. Okay. I want chicken and meat as well. We all want that.
You want what? Shake
Yeah,
and a
man,
meat?
No. I want chicken and meat.
Oh, chicken and meat. Chicken and meat. Okay. Yeah, no, I feel that. This is a good source of protein. I feel you.
Buns, man. I need those.
And eggs.
And eggs. And milk. And fruits.
And nuts.
And nuts. Yeah, everything, bro.
Yeah.
And gas.
Yeah.
And electricity.
Yeah.
And Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I would stop.
and
What was your favorite? What was your favorite food?
everything.
Favorite food, bro. Like eggs, man. I mean, okay, I would just
Dish maybe.
yeah, like a dish. I would say like you should try maqluba. Have you tried it before? Palestinian maqluba.
Yeah.
How did it taste like?
I mean, I haven't I don't think I've had like a Palestinian makhluba, but it's the same. It's just like rice and lamb, right? With like spice.
Bro, listen. Once I leave Gaza and my family as well, and let's say you're in the UAE or happen to be in the UAE, you're hosted at my place, man.
All right, for sure, 100%.
My mom's gonna cook you some fire magluba, some fire shawarma, some fire Palestinian dishes, man.
Hell yeah, inshallah.
My mom is a
inshallah.
great.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Have you what have you had dishes wise, like, because you used to live in the UAE, right? Or did you ever live in the UAE?
I was born in the UAE.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was born in the. But I'm Palestinian.
Yeah.
Wait 1 sec. Oh, yeah, I'm Palestinian. I have Palestinian citizenship. Just because I was born in the UAE doesn't mean I'm from there.
Yeah.
People in the US confuse that because when you're born in the US you get US citizenship.
Yeah.
But I was born in the UAE, raised and born there, and then I moved to Gaza in 2021. And why I moved to Gaza was mainly for I don't know if I get into it. No, like a lot of reasons went to it. I'll sum it up quickly. There's some very personal reasons. I'll say it. I'll say it.
Just get.
No, I'll say it. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
COVID happened. My dad got sick. He was off work for a few months. Financial situation wasn't as good at the time, so we moved to Gaza to lower expenses. And yeah, here I am, and we're trying like our hardest to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's still in the UAE. Alhamdulillah, he's recovered now. Alhamdulillah, financially we're well off. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you were in the UAE, what's your favorite like non-Palestinian food that you had from international?
So in the UAE, there's like many Pakistanis and Indians. They used to make this drink called karak, karak tea or tea karak. I think karak tea. Yeah.
I think in India they call it kadak.
Kadak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that tea was 10 out of 10.
Oh, is it like?
Because like.
It's just chicken tea.
Yeah, it's like it looks like Yemeni tea that I've had before. Like
yeah, probably.
It's like milky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I'm more of a coffee guy myself. I'm not a big tea guy, but so okay, all right. What else to ask you about your day-to-day experience? Is there anything I haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
Yeah, okay, I want to talk about this. So you know, like I think like this morning, I had a thought of like, how are people outside of Gaza, or people that don't live in a war zone, or depressed? It doesn't really like clock to me. How can you be depressed when you have so many blessings that I dream to have, and like these people should be grateful that they're waking up to the sounds of birds chirping instead of waking up to the sound of bombs or to an evacuation order. They should be grateful that they have water, food at their disposal, whereas we have to go miles just to find food. We have to go miles at sometimes to find water. It's like, how can you be depressed when you have so much blessings in your life? And I'm not trying to like belittle their situation. Like, obviously everyone has hardships, but it's like, can you just take a second and be grateful for all the blessings that you have?
I think I have an answer to this.
I would know. So
Yeah. No, I mean it's privilege.
yeah,
It's just like people are used to their comforts, so then they adjust to that environment, and then they think, "Oh my God, my life is so terrible." In comparison, and they just never compare themselves to a person like yourself, to your everyday experience. And then there's also obviously chemical imbalances in the brain and stuff. Not to get all scientific with it, but so you said you want to leave Gaza. What are the hurdles in front of you to be able to do that right now? Like what are the main things that are preventing you from being able to leave?
and at the beginning of 2024, I made a fundraiser to leave Gaza, and then what happened? And then I raised the money. I then paid to leave, and then I was put on a 30-day queue to evacuate Gaza, and the border closed 4 days before I was supposed to leave. So, I've been stuck in Gaza. Like, I was like, right now I'm supposed to be out of Gaza, but because of the border closing, because of what happened,
Yeah,
I'm still here suffering every day.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the hurdles is like, you can't even leave Gaza if you wanted to. If I wanted to leave Gaza today, I can't. All the border crossings are closed. There's no airports in Gaza. I can't go to a neighboring country. Like, every border is closed. Like, some people are saying go swim. Okay, bro, this isn't like a GTA lobby. I can't just do anything that I want.
yeah. You can just swim away. That's not how that works. I think other people would have done that if that was the case.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, okay, video games. Do you used to play video games? I assume, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I think video games they're good, but they can be addicting at sometimes. So
Addicting to a bad point.
yeah, to like a very bad point. Like, I was really addicted to Valorant.
You were?
Uh,
Oh my God!
Yeah,
What was your main? What was your character that you played?
Raze. Ironic. 'Cause
Well,
So you're a Valo guy. Okay, I was addicted to Valorant too. I stopped playing because it was like taking up too much of my day-to-day time.
yeah. What's your main, man?
What I was I was also maining Raze.
What was your main?
It was also Raze, and then KO. I played Raze, and then I started playing KO because I was so bad at it. Wait, do you know
Me too,
Todic?
bro.
Do you know like Valo players, like people who play Valo?
Yeah.
Who do you watch that plays Valo that you like?
I mean, not now. Like, before the war, I was tapped into the Valorant space. I used to, Hands. Who else? The Toast guy.
This guy's
This
Toast?
guy's Toast.
No way!
Yeah.
I know all of those guys.
Games
Wait, did you say tens?
on Orange. Yeah, tons as well.
No, that's awesome. Wait, do you know
and who
Todic?
else? Yeah, I've heard of them. I used to watch them as well. They're all like very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are I'm good friends with Todic. I know all of those guys. I mean, they're good friends of mine. I suck
bro,
at Valorant.
I used to watch you play on their streams.
Oh, you used to watch me play? Is that what you said?
No, like, I was like, they upload their VODs.
Yeah.
And I used to like hear your voice and see your face cam.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Among Us games when they were like live streaming Among Us as well. But I used to see you, bro.
yeah, I'm I'm so bad though. They were being nice. They were carrying me. Yeah. Okay. So you were a big Valo head, but then you stopped because you got too addictive. But you don't. What about Counter Strike?
Yeah. I wouldn't say because of the war I stopped. I stopped like a year before the war. It
Uh-huh.
was getting really. So yeah, I just completely like cut it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I understand that for sure because that's the reason why I had to stop too. And I was buying too many skins. I just kept buying skins, man. I was there's a term for it. It's called a whale. Like when you're
A whale.
like a client that just buys so many of the skins. That's what I was doing. And I wasn't even good at the game. It was messed up. What about other games? Like you play Valo? What else?
Counter Strike, but not that much. Just a little bit. Minecraft, Roblox. Yeah.
Do you like any of the did you watch any of the Minecraft content creators?
Yeah, but I can't even remember their names. There was Stampy, like really like back in the day, like in like almost a decade ago. There was Stampy, DanTDM. Who else? There were so many I forgot their names completely.
What was that one that got arrested?
There's a guy that got arrested as well. What was his
Popular
name?
MMOs.
Popular MMOs, yeah. He
What? He got
recently.
arrested?
I think so, recently.
Or maybe the other one. I'm not sure. It's one of those guys.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
who I never. I haven't like. Have you seen the Minecraft movie? No, right? Like, did you know there was a Minecraft movie that came out?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it. I also wanted to watch it, but
Yeah.
I don't have an internet.
How can we get you to?
Yeah.
How can we be able to like broadcast it? Maybe we can like illegally broadcast it to you through Discord if you want to watch it. You can get your
Well, it's
homies
like-
together.
I don't have internet all day. Like,
No, I know.
you know, like between like we lagged like a few times. I lagged a few times, so like it's gonna be really hard.
Yeah, we'll pause it. If it lags, we'll pause it in the Discord. You know.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
So what are you? What keeps you going? What are you looking forward to? Like what keeps you positive in all of this madness and all this chaos and all this violence?
What keeps me like positive would definitely be my faith. You know, I'm Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Born Muslim, grew up Muslim. And yeah, just knowing that God is always watching, just really puts my heart at ease. And as well, like I have so much hope for no reason. I don't know why I have so much hope. Like if you look at everything that's going on, I'm like the person that's least expected to have so much hope. But I don't know what's happening. Like, I have so much hope for no reason. Like despite everything that's happening, there are talks of a ceasefire. Some days like, oh my god, a ceasefire might happen tomorrow. The other days like it'll never happen. But it's like I don't know, for no reason I just have so much hope that something good is gonna happen. And the Quran, it also says with hardship comes ease. So like just me living like in a hardship right now, ease is gonna come for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I inshallah, brother, inshallah. It's just good things are coming. I hope.
I don't think it's like a. Are you still like practicing Muslim? I don't. If it's like a personal question. you don't
Me?
have to
No,
answer.
not at all. Not even a little bit. I'm a very bad
Why
Muslim.
not?
I just I think everyone's interpretation is different. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
I try to be a good person to the best of my ability, even if I don't follow all of the rules, if that makes sense.
Mm.
But it's good to have faith
Yeah, I get what you mean.
in times like this. You know? So don't
Yeah.
listen to me. I'm a bad influence. Your mom is gonna get mad
Oh,
at you. Yeah. Also, yeah, I live in the most haram place on the planet. I live in Los Angeles, man. Yeah.
That's fine, man. Like you can, like as long as you're a good person, do good stuff.
I think that's
you're
what
not really
matters.
harming society.
Yeah.
That's what matters most.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer and get you in trouble with your mom. Is there
Yeah, she's
anything
been
else you
calling
wanna?
me.
Is there anything else you
Something
wanna
like-
say?
Let's see what the chat asks. Let's do like two more questions, three
All
more
right.
questions, and then
Two more
end off.
questions.
Yeah.
Chat. Ask if he watches the FaZe Boys. I don't think he does, but do you know FaZe Clan?
Yeah,
Oh, you do. Wait, who's your
Yeah.
favorite? Who's your favorite FaZe member?
I've heard of them. Doesn't mean I watch them.
You know, there's a Palestinian, Apex, one of the OG FaZe guys. Yeah,
I know.
he's
Yeah, I know.
Palestinian.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Seen him on a podcast before. He's a good guy. He's
Yeah.
from Faves. I think he's a yeah.
People are asking, does he watch Markiplier?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I used to
do?
watch him in school. Yeah, not anymore, but like when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Okay,
Like,
that's chill. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
We could. Is there any way we could get you like SD cards or something, like with movies in them, or like a Blu-ray or a DVD, or is there any way to do that or no?
That would be amazing, but no, you can't, unfortunately.
Yeah, everything is shut down, right? Like there's got to be like a digital way to like a digital. Oh, can I, Yusuf? Are you there?
Yeah. Just lagged for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's got to be like a way to do a digital delivery, somehow,
Maybe.
but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, file sharing like BitTorrent or something like that. Okay, so someone asked, who's a better clip farmer, Yusuf or Abdurrahman? Between you and your brother, who clip farms harder?
Me, bro, for sure.
A lot. But check my Instagram. I barely have 160 posts, and Yusuf has 300. So there's a clear difference between both.
Yeah, I'm the better clip farmer.
Yeah.
Well, if you do like take into consideration, he did start like a month before me, and 2 months. I haven't been like.
What does that look?
I haven't been like into content like since the start. Like I started in April, but like I really got into it maybe in May. But then I still didn't really. I don't really upload that much. If I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Your videos are great.
They're saying you're killing it.
People get the.
They say you're doing a great job.
Watch his YouTube videos. His YouTube videos are fantastic.
Yeah.
Aboud. Yeah.
Don't watch my recent one though. I didn't really like. Well,
No, that was good.
I didn't have that much footage.
Okay.
I didn't have like the evacuation video.
Yeah,
that's why that's why it wasn't as good of a story as it could have been. But it did work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of echo.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're linking your stuff in the chat. Oh, everyone keeps asking, do you watch One Piece? But I don't. Have you heard of One Piece? Do you know what One Piece is? It's anime. Do you watch any anime at all?
I haven't watched it. No, haven't watched it.
You're not big into anime, I think, right?
No, not big into anime. Also, one thing. You asked us earlier about people who want to support Palestine and stuff. If you guys want to support Palestine, clip the stream, okay? Clip the stream. Clip me talking. At me in the caption, okay? So like you're helping me, and when you help me, you help people in Gaza. You get what I'm trying to say? You get more traffic to my fundraiser link. So guys, if you're experienced in social media and stuff, clip this, okay? Clip this.
Yeah. No, we got clippers. Don't worry, we got clip farmers.
Yeah, clip farmer.
Yeah.
I need a Gaza clip farmer.
Yeah, I need one myself, bro. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Do you guys read any books at all?
We gotta wrap this up.
Do you read any books at all?
No, voice call.
Oh, I said, do you read any books at all? Do you have time to read? Are there any books that you read?
I've read some books, but I wouldn't say I'm too interested in reading. I do want to read. Like, it's definitely something I want to pick up. A habit I want to pick up. My mom's she keeps calling me, bro. Yeah. I think we should wrap it up here, man.
Okay, no, it's all good. Yeah, no, you guys can wrap it up. This has been fantastic. This has been an amazing experience.
Can we go back to that one question like 6 questions ago? It was like why people aren't grateful for like the thing, how are they depressed and all of that. I think one of the reasons is they haven't like been uncomfortable with something like water, because like they haven't experienced not having water shortages, electricity shortages, and food shortages, and stuff like that, which I think really what's the word? Which I think really makes them feel depressed and sad for not having something that they are so used to having every single day. Like fast food, for example, if you cut that out, maybe people would like not be happy because they won't be able to get their meal faster or stuff like that. And it'll be sad. I don't know if that's a bad example, but you get like what I'm
No,
trying to
yeah.
say. Get the message.
Yeah. The luxuries that we have that we take for granted, if we somehow magically didn't have access to them, we would feel very uncomfortable and we would recognize their absence. So that's what it is. That's where people come from when they're just living in privilege. We here are living in tremendous relative privilege. Yeah. Which is why I always stress the importance of protesting and trying to apply pressure, because at the end of the day, it is our tax dollars here in America that are contributing to the conditions that you guys are experiencing over there. And it's really horrifying. And, that's why I think it's important for every American to speak out, every person in the West to speak out and try to the best of their ability, put an end to this death and destruction.
Good message, man. All right. I wish I could stay here for like.
All right. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Where can people find you here? You shout it out on your own.
@Reach Yusuf, @Reach Abed, Abed.
REACHABED.
Yeah. Reach Yusuf, YUSUF.
Thanks for having Yusuf on here.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having us on, man.
Thanks for coming on, guys. This was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks much, pleasure.
All right. Bye, guys.
More than grateful. All right.
Goodbye, man.
Bye. All right. That was Abed and Yusuf, all the way from Gaza. What an incredible experience. What an incredible opportunity that I definitely do not take for granted. Very brave, these two very brave souls that are put through tremendous amounts of hardship for literally no fucking reason. For the chatters who were complaining about the language that Yusuf was using, or some things that he was saying, some things that he was not saying, once again, I have to stress this. Yes, there are every single thing that you can see, Israel sees as well. Okay, every single thing that you see, everyone else sees as well. There's going to be, and also they're 16 and 14. Once again, reminder to chat. Okay, they're teenagers. Yusuf is 16. Abed is 14, and they're going through their day-to-day existence. Currently is obviously surviving a ethnic cleansing campaign. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. First time I heard FaZe Apex was Palestinian. What the fuck? Yeah, no, bro. I mean, it's not like he hides it. He's pretty outspoken about it. Yeah, he's 16 years old in ESL. Yeah, that was great, and I hope I can. Can you check PM in Discord? It's important if you don't mind. I can't, because you can't DM me in Discord. But yeah, Sean the Black, thank you for the raid. Criminalized Usury, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Yeah. While we were having a conversation, the Handala was intercepted and raided by the Israeli occupying forces. Of course, classic. I know that there was a lot of people that were in the chat trying to explain it to me, but I was a little bit predisposed. I was a little busy with the things that were going on in front of me. We had this wonderful opportunity to be able to interview Yusuf and even Abed, as a matter of fact. So in real time, it's crazy that this is something that we can do. But yeah, this was what was going on. Chunky Albacore Tuna, thank you for the gift of subs. Yeah, Chris Smalls is in that boat, and so is that other TikToker guy. Does that kid have a PO box? I have some file I can mail him. You can't mail anything into Palestine. You can't mail anything into Gaza. I need you to understand. Food is not allowed in. Like baby formula is not allowed in. Jacob Berger is the other guy that I know that's on the ship as well. I'm pretty sure. There's nothing. At most the help, the aid, or anything you could do is potentially through digital. Yeah, Israel, we're not blocking aid. That's blood libel. Come see for yourself. Also, Israel, if you try to bring in aid, we will stop you. Israeli Navy poised to intercept fresh Gaza-bound protest ship. Yeah, this was the Gaza flotilla. Is there a playlist Why do they do this when they know it's live? Like they're already losing the fight for the narrative. Why do they act like villains directly? Because what the fuck are we going to do about it? I mean, that's the reason why they do it. They do this because they have total impunity. You understand? There are no real legal repercussions that they could potentially fear because none in the Western world does anything beyond, none in the Western world do anything beyond some light condemnations. Oh, thank you for the playlist. Okay. We're going to get into a little bit of Ghislaine Maxwell stuff, considering that the Justice Department met with Ghislaine Maxwell twice over the Epstein files. No, I'm not going to do fucking personal news. We've already started the stream, okay? There's no intro music. There's no personal news. Shut the fuck up. We're getting into the news. I got to go pee.
Administration is facing renewed calls for full transparency regarding files in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking investigation. Epstein's accomplice wrapped up 2 days of interviews with a top Justice Department official and the president's former attorney, Todd Blanche. Her attorney says she answered questions about 100 different people yesterday and that she did not hold anything back. Scott McFarland has more.
As he emerged from a second day of interviews in Tallahassee, Ghislaine Maxwell's defense lawyer, David Marcus, said she is cooperating freely.
We haven't asked for anything. This is not a situation where we're asking anything in return for testimony or anything like that.
But as he departed for his golf resort in Scotland, President Trump refused to rule out a pardon for Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison term.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she's
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
Maxwell was convicted of conspiracy and the repeated sexual abuse of young girls. During her trial, some of the victims said they wanted her to be sentenced to life in prison. Deputy U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche, a former Trump criminal defense lawyer, has now conducted 2 closed-door meetings with Maxwell in an effort to quiet criticisms the administration is blocking access to the Epstein files. A plane flew a banner over the courthouse meeting site accusing the president and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi of a cover-up. Blanche, Trump's number 2 Department of Justice official, said he sought the meetings with Maxwell as a response to the president's directive to release more evidence in the case.
That is totally unorthodox and outside the norms of the way the Department of Justice is supposed to operate.
Liz Oyer, a former U.S. pardon attorney, was fired from the Department of Justice in March.
Is she well positioned to get a pardon?
There's every reason to believe that they are seeking to make some sort of deal with Maxwell that will help them solve this political crisis.
Trump dismissed any talk of a pardon as he arrived in Scotland.
A lot of people are asking me about pardons. Obviously, this is no time to be talking about pardons.
So what became of these interviews? The Department of Justice so far has said only that it'll release information at the appropriate time, raising questions about when and what will ultimately be released. For CBS Saturday Morning, Scott McFarland, Washington.
Jeffrey Epstein was enormously wealthy. At the time of his death in 2019, he owned a collection of mansions across the world, 2 private islands. He was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Exactly how this disgraced financier managed to become so wealthy is central to the ongoing scandal, and both Republican and Democratic lawmakers on Capitol Hill want answers. Here's CNN's Tom Foreman.
When convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein was found dead behind bars, he owned 2 Caribbean islands, homes around the world in Manhattan, New Mexico, Palm Beach, Paris. And according to Forbes, his estate was valued at $578 million, making Epstein clearly a wealthy man. Not so clear to some who have watched the case closely how he got it all.
I think that's the smoking gun here, Epstein's finances and how he made his money, who he got money from.
Born in middle-class Brooklyn, Epstein was a bright student who dropped out of college and into high finance.
Bro, white people get coverage that's so crazy where even if they are the most prolific, internationally renowned pedophile sex trafficker, they still will be like, coming from a middle class, a real upstart, Jeffrey Epstein was a smart boy. It's like that shit blows my mind, dude. That actually blows my mind. A loving father,
Finance, where he courted billionaire clients, including the man behind Victoria's Secret and The Limited. Les Wexner kickstarted Epstein's professional success. And when Epstein's private crimes came out, he expressed outrage.
Being taken advantage of by someone who was so sick, so cunning, so depraved.
Yeah, real victim. The real victim here is Les Wexner, chat. It's crazy.
It's something that I'm embarrassed that I was even close to.
But Epstein made many rich and powerful contacts before his sexual predations were publicly known, including now President Donald Trump, who in 2002, before his friendship with Epstein fell apart reportedly over a real estate deal, told New York Magazine, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy." Aside from Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime girlfriend, none of his highly placed former pals have been charged with any crimes related to him. No law enforcement authorities have ever accused Trump of any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein. And the president bristles at the whole idea that the Epstein case still has secrets to reveal.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
Still, some find Epstein's fortune inexplicably large, too big in their assessment to have been made by legitimate hustle. And they openly wonder, with no proof, at least not yet, if maybe some of Epstein's contacts were somehow involved in his crimes and paying to keep it quiet.
We need to know, were they paying Jeffrey Epstein money to do these? Who gave him the loans to buy the islands? What was he paid? Where did that money come from?
Tom Foreman, CNN, Washington.
Joining me now is political anchor for Spectrum News and host of The Big Deal with Errol Lewis. Errol, good to have you this Saturday. So let's start with the Ghislaine Maxwell interviews. The Deputy AG, Todd Blanche, spent 2 days interviewing her. At the end of the second day, Maxwell's attorney was asked about potential for pardon, and so was the president. So let's watch those.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she's
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something. It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about. A lot of people are asking me about pardons. Obviously, this is no time to be talking about pardons.
We haven't spoken to the president or anybody about a pardon just yet. And you know, listen, the president this morning said he had the power to do so. We hope he exercises that power in the right and just way. Thank you.
Haven't spoken about a pardon yet. Haven't thought about a pardon, but I'm allowed to. What do you hear there?
Oh, well, good morning, Victor. What I hear is what I think we all just saw with our own eyes, which is that in a shocking departure from normal procedures, a very high-ranking member of the Justice Department went and spent, 7 hours talking to this convicted felon, this person who did not even testify in her own case, never said a word in her own trial, and clearly made some kind of a deal or slyly suggested to her that, gee, if you say the right things or if you keep your mouth shut, there could be a pardon and you might be able to get out of prison in 20 months instead of 20 years.
But, Errol, is there any way that the president, let's say the pardon is on the table, before the very end of this term would do that? Could he carry that politically to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell?
Well, sure. I mean, listen, Victor, because of the Constitution and the prohibition on running for another term, Donald Trump is essentially a lame duck. If you project out to the end of his term, he'll be a very wealthy man who's in his 80s who can't run for office again. What would it harm him to sort of do these kind of dirty deeds and have the rest of us decry it as improper or immoral? He won't care at that point. I'm not sure he cares right now.
Yeah, I mean, it would be one thing to do it January 19th of 2029 versus to do it August 1st of 2025. But let's talk about the content of these interviews. You've got the president's former personal attorney, who he's appointed the deputy AG, going to interview a convicted perjurer who, as we see, wants a pardon, about a scandal that the president wants distance from. So how much credibility is there in what comes out of this if we ever get the details of these interviews?
Yeah, I'm not sure we're ever going to find out exactly what was said, but this is a part of what has been a desperate mission, very much as Tom Foreman just reported, by the White House to just try and make this go away. They just don't want us talking about it. They don't want reporters digging into it. The problem, of course, is that in MAGA world, there are a number of really senior people who are now part of the Trump administration who spent years. I mean, you know how that ecosystem works, Victor, where on talk radio and on websites and in books over and over and over again, they've said that Jeffrey Epstein is not just some wayward, depraved a political player, but that he's central to how you have to understand politics. And they cannot now convince the MAGA base that there's nothing to see here. So I think they're gonna pull out every last stop that they possibly can, including some kind of a statement or non-statement from Ghislaine Maxwell, if they think that will work, just to try and get this off the table. The central question, of course, is, Mr. President, what did you know? What was your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein really about? And if you knew that he was engaged in illegal activity, why didn't you say something?
And there are enough members of the Republican conference in Congress now who want answers to those questions that this House subcommittee and oversight, they've now voted to subpoena the Epstein files. I want you to listen here. This is Republican Mike Kennedy. He held a virtual town hall. And for you at home, if you are having breakfast or if you are drinking a protein shake, sit the cup down, sit the fork down. This is pretty graphic, but I think it's important. Let's play it.
I am a big fan of full transparency, and of course, healthcare and how it's delivered is a big way of thinking about things. Is if you've got a festering boil, infected wound with pus underneath there, you can continue to just let it fester, and potentially that's going to grow inward and create infection in your bloodstream and cause the whole body to be sick. Well, it's another way, and I've done this many times over the course of my doctor career. Is I just had to put a needle or a knife in it and cut it open and let it drain. And in the case of this Epstein stuff, absolutely, let it out.
Well, if that didn't turn your stomach, Errol, what is the impact of the pressure from these town halls that Republicans will face, and from their voters, not from Democrats who are maybe shouting them down, from their voters over the next month?
Yeah, I mean, here again, look, we have a president who came to national political prominence based on a lie and a conspiracy theory called birtherism. He has, over the years, used conspiracy theories over and over and over again, and he has trained his base, and he's gotten them accustomed to the idea that these weird, dark conspiracies about the so-called deep state are the key to understanding politics. And he's finding it very, very hard now to shut that down. What his members of his Republican Party are going to tell him is that there are a lot of people out there now who bought all of that.
Yeah, bro could have just said drain the swamp like the rest of them, but he went in deep. He went in with a very deep and weird graphic analogy instead.
For over a decade now, and you can't just switch it off. That's the
Yeah, I can't get over having your personal lawyer meet with the one person who could implicate you in a worldwide sex trafficking operation behind closed doors, a landmark moment, even amongst all the Washington corruption. It sets an insane precedent for future administrations. I do not understand how more people are not freaking the fuck out about this, including like giving immunity to Ghislaine Maxwell in the process, like while simultaneously shutting the door to any sort of revelation from the already existing discovery process. And as a matter of fact, doing this because you don't want the discovery process and the investigation that was conducted already to come out. It's like, it is so overt. It is some broad daylight shit, okay? It's crazy. It's crazy that it's like happening in broad daylight. And I don't know. It's just like there's not enough conversations taking place. That's why I was like the critical on the notion that this is like another Watergate or something. It's like, I don't think we can have Watergates anymore, man. I don't think we're at that point, you know? Do we have Watergates anymore? Can we have Watergates? Like, I feel like in order to have a Watergate style situation, you need to have some strength within the institutions, and also it needs to be propped up by like a sense of shame and order that that people within these institutions might retain. There is no more accountability. Watergate is like the least consequential thing that Trump ever could have done. Oh wow, he's spying on the opposition. Like, okay. He would come out and be like, of course I'm doing it because I want to win, stupid. Like, I want to win. Only idiots wouldn't spy on the Democrat Party. I'm spying on them because they're evil and they're terrorists. I'm also throwing them in jail. I'm throwing them in jail.
Problem, by the way, with conspiracy theories is there's nothing you can do to stop them beyond a certain point. And so people are going to take them and run with them. And anytime you say there's nothing else to see here, I don't have any more information, they say, what else are you hiding?
Errol Lewis, good to have you this Saturday. Enjoy the
devastating images.
I'm noticing that there's a lot more talk about the horrible conditions in Gaza coming from mainstream news. I think because, as I said before, the most like undeniable type of crime that you can commit is restriction of aid, and the impact of said crimes would be obviously famine. And now that widespread famine is impossible to avoid, you have even the likes of BBC covering it, and you have Western outlets like finally talking about it. Now, one might say this is too little too late, and I do understand where you're coming from if you were to say such a thing, but it's not lost on me, let's just say, that I'm not oblivious. I am noticing that there's like a lot more people being like, there's too much famine, come on. And as a consequence of that, you get Western nations offering like little, like drip feeding, little gifts, like Palestinian state recognition, stuff like that, you know?
Coming out of Gaza as Israel continues to hold up aid trucks at the border. Our cameras filmed inside.
This guy said they're not blaming Israel. The first word coming out of Good Morning America, the Good Morning America anchor's mouth was, Israel is holding up aid trucks at the border. You would be wrong. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong, sorry, under normal circumstances. But no, they absolutely are saying that, which is, again, unique. Not only are they talking about the horrifying conditions on the ground, but they're also talking about who's responsible for it. Many of the mainstream outlets still aren't going in that direction, where they'll still act like it's a natural disaster or some shit. But like, honestly, I mean, it's too little too late for sure. But I'll still, like I've said, I still welcome it. I welcome this change, regardless of how delayed it is, because it's not only a disservice to the victims so far, but it's consequential because it might prevent further victims down the line. That's the way I see it.
Our cameras filmed inside a children's ward at a hospital in central Gaza, and the scenes were haunting. According to the Director General of the Al-Shifa Medical Complex, 70,000 children have now entered the stage of acute malnutrition. 50,000 are on the brink of complete starvation. An American doctor volunteering in Gaza telling us every patient he is treating at Nasser Hospital is malnourished, and over 100 aid groups are warning of mass starvation. Now, Israel blames Hamas, saying they've been stealing food and engineering food shortages. An internal U.S. government review, though, failed to find any evidence that Hamas was engaged in widespread diversion of assistance.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Ross doubt that. How Israel's war became unjust. I mean, if that's not a tide shift, I don't know what to say. I don't know what would look like a tide shift to you. Like, Ross Douthat is a fucking straightforward defender of all of Israel's war crimes. So it's like even now he's saying became, right? Like, as though this is a new change of pace. As though this is a new attitude shift. It's not. I think people need to recognize that this is because the public pressure is getting to the public pressure has gotten to a point where it's like impossible to deny. And not only is it impossible to deny, but like the pendulum has swung in the other direction, where I think there will be a future where it'll be more consequential for you to come across as pro-Israel than pro-Palestinian. It already is that in public for like the average person. depending on which circles you operate in. But for most normal people, if you're just like still at this point saying anything that's like even remotely pro-Israel, or even look at the Nelk boys, right? Like they tried to say, oh, we just, he's a foreign politician. Like, what do you mean? What's the problem? And even then, this right-wing, relatively young audience was not taking it, where they're like, what the fuck do you mean? It's just a regular politician. It's like saying Adolf Hitler is just a regular politician. He was a foreign leader, So I think for average folk, the pendulum has already swung, and now you're seeing the media play catch up with that shift. You think it's impossible to deny yet? The authorities find it manageable to oppress? No, I think it's a cat's out of the bag situation for months at this point. They're just playing catch up because they wanted to hold on to this idea that they could nip this in the bud for as long as they possibly could, but they cannot. That's the point. Is the lobby money drying up? No, that's not the case. No, this is purely a direct consequence of people consistently engaging in advocacy, consistently protesting. That's it. Because people could not deal with the atrocities that they were seeing, and there needs to be a pressure valve, and that pressure valve never came. There was never a moment of respite. And now it's gotten to a point where it's impossible. It's impossible to go around and be pro-Israel. That's part of the reason why, even though you see musicians getting banned still, or deplatforming initiatives, or even the desperate hanger-ons that try to still attack like pro-Palestinian content creators and whatnot in the spaces that we occupy, ultimately most people don't fuck with that at all. They're just like, yeah, dude, shut up. It's done. It's over. It's done. And now the last bastion of Israel defense, the New York Times, even or mainstream press, is even swinging in the opposite direction. Very different prospect for Israel's future than it looked like on October 7, like post October 7. But remember, just like this is the exact same case of this is the exact same situation with the immigration raids. Before it happens, people think they want it. Once it starts happening, people realize maybe this is not something I wanted. But even if the Democrats don't say anything about it, people get so angry and so resentful at the administration that's conducting these operations that they take it to the fucking streets. And then that public pressure campaign inevitably changes other people's perspectives as well. The media starts covering it, and it becomes impossible to avoid. That's why I always say you have to become undeniable. You have to become unavoidable. You have to be a force for good, even when people don't want to hear it, even when people don't want to see it, or people in positions of power have their careers and their jobs simply because they can expertly turn a blind eye to these atrocities. That's it.
Now, aid airdrops could soon be starting up again. A top UN official warning that airdrops are the most expensive and inefficient way to deliver aid. Meanwhile, ceasefire negotiations abruptly ending, the U.S. pulling out of those talks, saying Hamas does not appear to be negotiating in good faith. The U.S. and Israel are now considering what they're calling alternative options, but it's still unclear what those are. Janae?
I mean, there's one option,
Those images are devastating, Inez, but nothing compared to the reality of what's happening there. Thank you for that reporting.
First of all, how urgent is the goal of bringing the hostages home if everyone in Gaza is starving, some to death right now? Listen, if you go to CNN's homepage, we keep a live blog going every day of Gaza headlines. And it's hard to see horrific.
This is crazy. As Gaza starves, the world watches and waits. CNN, it feels like you're watching my broadcast like a year ago.
Headline after horrific headline populate the page this week. And that's keeping in mind that the headlines were horrible on October 7th, and they have been every day since, and yet they're getting worse. You see some of them here. And add to this that the UN says
this is the front page of the Independent, neither dead nor alive. Today's front page on the Independent. You can download a digital newspaper. Palestinians in Gaza have become walking corpses. UN agency as 6,000 trucks with food and medical supplies wait to enter while Israel limits access for humanitarian aid. Yeah, we're getting to the one day everyone will have been against this moment. Yeah. Breaking news, Israeli military officials say they have no proof Hamas routinely steals UN aid, undercutting a claim Israel has used to limit food for Gaza. I don't really understand where that's coming from, because the American military has also made it known. There's a bunch of leaks that are coming out now, and I don't know what the purpose of this is, but it is crazy that, like, U.S. aid revelations. Chatter, you have been literally fucking auto-modded like 11 times. I have spoken about Handala. I will continue to spoke about it. Please stop fucking spamming it. You keep getting timed out over and over again. Like, the purpose of Handala and the Freedom Flotilla is to bring in fucking humanitarian aid to offer respite to the crisis that I'm currently covering, which is widespread famine, carefully crafted and calculated by the Israeli state. Okay? God damn, dude. Holy fuck.
The starving people in Gaza are beginning to look like walking corpses. Doctors Without Borders says that the rates of severe malnutrition in children under 5 in its clinics have tripled in just the last 2 weeks. And we see all that and wonder, what are the world's leaders doing about it? And for now, it seems like they're watching along with the rest of us. The UN made the point this week that people are being starved while a few kilometers away, supermarkets are loaded with food. Israel says that they'll allow other countries to drop aid into Gaza from the air in the next few days, but the UN warns that that method is costly and it's dangerous. And talks for a ceasefire, they're not going well either. President Trump blames Hamas for the decision by the U.S. to pull back from talks. Watch.
They pulled out of Gaza. They pulled out in terms of negotiating. It was too bad. Hamas.
This is literally the same exact shit that Anthony Blinken and Joe Biden did, by the way. Like, constantly dangling a bullshit ceasefire that's not a ceasefire at all, offering side concessions to Israel to attack again, and then Israel blowing up the peace talks and ceasefire talks because they had no interest in doing so, and then turning around and going on television and being like, well, Hamas did it again. They fucked up the peace talks again. It's insane. And if on the one hand, CNN and all of the news broadcasters, if you have people in this chat right now that work at these places, if you are finally able to get a word in edgewise, okay, if you're finally able to have your voices be heard, your criticisms be heard by your editors, explain to them that the population broadly understands that if you're saying, oh, how is Gaza starving? And you're finally coming to that conclusion, you're finally actually covering that sort of shit, they also understand the responsibility that CNN and other mainstream institutions hold in terms of massaging the public opinion and failing to do so, really. So if you're going to cover this, if you're going to cover the situation on the ground with the accuracy that you're finally getting around to, then also cover the fucking back and forth with accuracy as well. The idea that this is Hamas's fucking problem or Hamas's responsibility is so ridiculous. There's only one party here that is keeping the Palestinians in famine conditions, and that is Israel. And there's one party that has power over Israel to get them to stop doing this, and that's America. Okay? It's ridiculous to still play this fucking song and dance 22 months in, while on the one hand, you're recognizing that the Palestinians are starving. And on the other hand, you're like, who's doing it? I don't know. And then you also mention what Trump is saying about who's responsible as though it's the truth. Yeah, I saw Anthony Blinken's fucking insane statements, but expected statements on the matter as well. Yeah, here, if you want to know, the Democrats are exactly the same on this issue.
But I wish as well that those who understandably have been so moved and motivated by everything that's happened since October 7th, if they'd spent just maybe 10% of their time calling on Hamas, demanding Hamas put down its arms, give up the hostages, stop what it's doing. Maybe if the world had done that, we'd also be in a different place. But to come to your question, but I wish as well that those who understandably
fucking asshole, a butcher in his own right,
been so.
From his mansion in Cambridge Road, the disgraced Tony Blinken blames anti-war protesters for the continuation of Israel's war on Gaza. Remember, it was Blinken who advanced the Israeli attack on UNRWA and ended its funding, setting the stage for famine. No, this isn't rage bait, dude. This is unironically what these guys are trying to get you to believe, and it's failing, but it doesn't matter. That isn't stopping them.
Hamas didn't really want to make a deal. I think they want to die, and it's very, very bad. And it got to be to a point where you're going to have to finish the job. They really, they asked for things. Don't forget, we got a lot of hostages out. So now we're down to the final hostages, and they know what happens after you get the final hostages. And basically, because of that, they really didn't want to make a deal.
Israel Prime Minister says that alternative options are being considered to bring hostages home and end Hamas's rule in Gaza. Israel says that Hamas, and we will remind you here, it is a terrorist group, is responsible for the lack of food and medicine.
This idea.
Okay, this fucking coverage is insane. Never mind, I take it back. Okay, they're psychotic. Never mind. I thought that this was like serious and straightforward for once. That's crazy.
Of famine and starvation has been thrown at us consistently on a weekly basis for the last 2 years now. It has never come to pass. So these are false warnings which come from these aid organizations. And I also would say that where there is hunger in Gaza, it is hunger orchestrated by Hamas.
In the meantime, Egypt and Qatar, they say that they are still working towards a ceasefire.
I spoke too soon. Yeah, never mind. I spoke too soon. That's crazy. He's just going to let that sit? No counter to that? Incredible.
Dr. Bashar Baba is with us live from Doha. He's had a role in these talks to reach a ceasefire, and he is the chairman of Arab Americans for Peace, formerly known as Arab Americans for Trump. Welcome back to the show. I thank you for your time. You supported this president before the election. You support him now. You said that you were certain the president would end this war, that things would change in Gaza, the hostages would come home. When you look at the pictures that we share this morning, what's your assessment of the president's job performance in doing what you said he would be able to do?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And secondly, I just want to emphasize that I'm speaking on my own behalf. I do not represent anyone, especially the U.S. government. So having said that, I think what we are seeing is that there are two different approaches to the conflict. One whereby one strategy is to find what is the minimum acceptable situation to both sides, meaning to the Israelis and to Hamas. And when then you would go into negotiations during the 60-day ceasefire period and flush out the details. Now, Hamas's approach has been to insert new details or conditions.
That's the guy you have? That's the guy you have on to talk, a pro-Trump guy who's here talking about the conditions that Hamas has inserted? Brother, this is the worst piece of coverage you could possibly do. They just fucking totally fucking baited and switched us with this. It was a real bait and switch. I saw that as Gaza stars, the world watches and waits, not realizing that they were going to angle their coverage into the direction of like, this is Hamas's doing and Hamas's responsibility. I'm genuinely shocked at how depraved these fucking institutions are.
While they're negotiating. Now, we're saying you cannot do that when people are dying. Let's get a ceasefire in place. You won't get everything that you want, but let's get a ceasefire in place and then talk about the details during...
Israel doesn't want to do a ceasefire, man. Hamas wants a ceasefire. Israel doesn't. I mean, this guy he might as well be a fucking agent of Israel. He might as well be David Lammy himself, the way he's talking over here. This is crazy.
The ceasefire.
Okay, Dr. Baba, let me flip this. You say that Hamas cannot add these new conditions while people are dying. My question is, why can't these people get food and fuel and medicine as these...
He's such a fucking Israel Trump dick rider that he got the CNN anchor to be like, why can't they get food, man?
Terms are negotiated.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, I get tons of messages from people in Gaza begging for food. Some people have said, we wish that a nuclear bomb would hit us so that this suffering, starvation ends. Now, the Israelis control the flow of aid into Gaza. Nobody else does. Nothing gets into Gaza without Israeli approval. Now, the United Nations have said that they wanted secure passages for their trucks to go into Gaza, and the Israelis have not provided the security for those trucks. So we're in a bind right now. People are dying. Israel has to realize that it has a significant responsibility to end this starvation in Gaza. It's totally unacceptable. There has never been a war like this with starvation in the 20th or 21st century.
Now,
people are suffering and they need food.
You do not represent the U.S. government, and I accept that. And I hope I didn't, in the intro, suggest that you are a representative of the U.S. government. You are a supporter of the president. I want you to listen to a member of his administration, though. This is the deputy spokesman for the State Department on aid and what they say is Hamas looting. This was Thursday of this week.
In terms of the food, is that Hamas, through looting the food, has led to weaponization. They are weaponizing aid when they are able to. We have a system in place attempting to get as much aid into Gaza as possible in a way where it is not being looted by Hamas. That is the reality that we're seeing. That is the reality that we're pushing for, trying to get as much
Well,
aid.
good thing USAID also completely contradicted this testimony that's coming from this fucking lying piece of shit.
In there as we possibly can.
That was Thursday. On Friday, CNN got its hand on a report, an internal USAID report that said that there is no evidence of widespread Hamas looting. There was no indication that there was a systemic loss due to Hamas interference.
Oh my God, BB tried to go on Joe Rogan, and even Joe Rogan was like, nah, makes sense.
Or theft or diversion, according to a source close to the report. How can both be true? You support this administration, this president. They're telling us that Hamas is stealing the food when they know that there is no evidence of it happening.
Well, listen, I see the pictures when trucks go in. I mean, the Egyptians told me that 3 days ago, they sent in 15 trucks of food. And those trucks were able to get in for 2 or 3 kilometers inside Gaza. And then a swarm of hungry people got into those trucks, took away everything because they're hungry. And so that is what I see. I'm not sitting in Gaza, but these are the pictures that I see. I hear from people that their brothers and sons go to find the aid trucks, and many of them wonder if they will ever come back alive, because it's a dangerous thing to go to the aid trucks. So, I mean, listen, it's not a political situation. The situation with food is humanitarian. Food has to get in irrespective of who puts what on whose blame. It's irrespective of that. Food has to get in. People are dying and people are starving. And that's a reality.
Dr. Baba, when I first spoke with you, this was before the 2024 election, your first appearance on the show. You told me that you were certain, and these are your words, not mine, that Donald Trump strikes fear into the heart of Benjamin Netanyahu, that he can influence him. And so when you suggest that this is only Netanyahu, it was you who told me on this show that Donald Trump had the influence to get the prime minister to do what he wanted. I want to also read something from before the inauguration. This is November 20th, 2023, an op-ed that you published. And you wrote this: if the fight goes on for an extended period, the number of Palestinian casualties will rise to the point that the world's rage will fall upon Israel and those who support it. The Israeli military, with all its sophisticated and advanced military equipment, is not heroic in killing people stranded in Gaza, where no place is safe and where it is an open-air killing field. Your words. Is the U.S. now a rightful target of the world's rage, as you described it?
Listen, I am, I'm confident.
Listen, he's a bitch, okay? He's a bitch. He's a pussy. Yes, perhaps even a grifter or a charlatan. Yeah, he presented himself, he stuck his neck out thinking that Trump was going to save the Palestinians, and he didn't. So now he has to sit there and be like, Hamas is making ridiculous demands.
That the president is looking for a resolution to this conflict. I'm confident that the president does not want to see people hungry. At the same time, I am confident that he's working on getting food in.
Oh, is he working tirelessly around the clock for a ceasefire? Thanks, man.
I wonder if you feel like this moment, these images that are coming out about the humanitarian situation is, in fact, an inflection point.
Why did it take this long? I mean, in November of last year, the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for the arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu for the war crime of starvation 8 months ago, before Israel cut off all food, all water, all electricity into the Gaza Strip for 3 months. And to say the United States is silent, it's much, much worse than that. We are profoundly complicit and deeply responsible. It is our weapons that enforce this starvation. It is our diplomatic efforts that prevent international justice from being done. The blood is on our hands as Americans because it is our weapons that is responsible for those children starving to death.
No blood for the hands of Hamas?
Hamas has
Is
lots
there no
of...
blood
No,
on
no,
their
no.
hands?
Why don't you let me finish? How about that? Okay?
I'm just
Okay?
asking.
Yes,
You
of
blamed
course.
Israel and you blamed...
They're so fucking smug. I wish, I beg for some karmic justice, man. Please, please, at some point, please, some semblance of justice in the planet. Please.
Sorry,
US, but we haven't heard Hamas yet. I'm just
I
asking.
actually have one of my closest friends in college was blown up
just
by
asking.
Hamas. I have probably a lot more experience with suffering from Hamas, with all due respect, than you do. Let's say this. If we want to see who is more to blame for the starvation of children in Gaza, Hamas or Israel, let CNN in. Israel has not allowed Western journalists in since October 7th. Let them go in, let CNN go in and decide for themselves. How about that?
How about Hamas
Can I-
releases
how
the
about-
hostages and
Yeah,
gets a
and let me
ceasefire?
think. What do you think would
Hold on,
happen if
Peter.
Hamas
Peter, just
released
give me
the
1
hostages?
second. Scott, let me ask you a question because Hamas is responsible for October 7th. Hamas is responsible for a lot of terrible things. But the question is, who can alleviate the starvation at this moment in Gaza? And does Israel have a responsibility to do much more than it is doing right now? And what do you say to that?
Well, my view is Hamas started the war. The suffering of the people in Gaza is their direct responsibility of what Hamas has done. Hamas took
But what
money
about
for
Israel's-
years,
what about
and instead of doing...
Yeah, you don't understand. You were, of course, against the Nelks interviewing Bibi, but I remember not so long ago you were trying to set up an interview with Obama, also a child murdering war criminal who should be tried at The Hague, even though, obviously, of course, not as many children and not genocidal. How do you reconcile that? Or would you have been adversarial in asking him about his war crimes? What do you think? Also, did you notice that that interview did not take place? Why do you think that interview did that interview never take place? Are you comparing an interview that I was not capable of conducting because of the adversarial questions that I had ready to go with the Nelk boys offering a platform to fucking Benjamin Netanyahu? Are you insane? I don't know if you noticed that, but I have not been able to interview Barack Obama. One must ask the question, why?
Anything for the people
But what
of
about
Gaza, built
Israel's
tunnels
role in
for this siege.
controlling
You asked
the
me a question. I
flow?
want to answer it.
But what about Israel's role in controlling the flow of food?
Yeah.
I just want us to set the table here because I understand that there's a lot of political talking points around this, but this is a conversation about human beings and about the things that they need in order to survive, which is food and water. And the question I have for you is there a moment for you where you sit here and you think, yeah, maybe more can be done? And at what point should the United States government say that?
Well, we are saying that. Number one, Hamas has weaponized aid. They've stolen.
I can't deal with Scott Jennings. Fucking Nazi scumbag. You can be as much of a Nazi as you want, as long as like the person that the group that you're like presenting yourself in opposition to is like vaguely Muslim enough or comprised mostly of Muslims, and you're defending the holy nation state of Israel, the most moral nation on the planet. That's it. You could just be like a straight up Nazi. Because that's what this is. Israel's a Nazi country, and its defenders are fucking Nazis. What is stopping these talking heads from starting their questions without mentioning Hamas? What do you mean? That's the only thing he thinks he can hold on to as a fucking effective counter, and it's actually ineffective at this point. Nobody gives a shit. What do you mean, Hamas? Oh, sorry, we have to keep starving Palestinian babies that people can see because Hamas, I guess. What the fuck? No, like, you have to be invested. You had to have already like developed a position that is so overwhelmingly pro-Israel to even entertain this fucking idiocy. You know what I mean?
Stolen it from the United Nations to resell it to finance their war. Some people think they've made $1 billion stealing and weaponizing this aid. That's not the United States doing. That's Hamas doing. That's number one. Number two, they've made unreasonable demands in these hostage negotiations. We're on the brink of a hostage deal and a ceasefire. They've blown that up today with Israel and now the United States having to.
Come on, Abby. Ask him what? What are the unreasonable demands Hamas has made? What is it? A permanent ceasefire? That's the unreasonable demand? Get this piece of shit to spell it out, because that's what it is. Also, God, it's just like the amount of atrocity propaganda you can get away with doing because like Hamas is a fucking Muslim group and Palestinians are not treated like real human beings is so crazy. This is what it is. It's just like you can just say anything. Anything is Hamas. You can say they're stealing aid. They're actually starving the children personally. They're killing the children personally to make Israel look bad. And people will be like, oh, I guess he's right.
Walk away from an unreasonable situation. It is blatantly obvious that Israel and the United States wants the hostages home. They want a ceasefire and they want to feed the people in Gaza. Hamas does not.
Can I just add? The Israeli government's stated position is to support the Trump plan for the full expulsion of all Palestinians from Gaza. And I would remind you, there is no Hamas leadership in the West Bank. How are Palestinians being treated in the West Bank where Hamas is not in control, where there are no Hamas fighters? Palestinians are being expelled from their homes, living under conditions that even Israel's own human rights organizations call apartheid in the West Bank where there is no Hamas. So yes, Hamas does despicable things, but these talking points, with all respect, people don't believe them anymore. People don't believe them anymore.
All they have to do is release the hostages.
I just want to play, hold on a second, Scott. I want to play Cindy McCain.
All they have to do is release the hostages. Brother, number one, Israel's killed more hostages than Hamas has released. Number two, the only and effective way to actually release hostages is through a ceasefire process, and that's the only way hostages have been released in brought in large numbers. Number three, Hamas's quote unquote unreasonable conditions for the ceasefire is an actual ceasefire, an actual cessation of hostilities, and an aid and humanitarian aid to go in to the Strip. And last but not least, there are no remaining hostages. The people that Hamas has right now are prisoners of war. Okay, there are no more civilians or even like former enemy combatants that turned civilians and were kidnapped or whatever. Like none of that. No, these are all IDF soldiers, unless you think they were kidnapped from a tank or kidnapped from a military base. They're just fucking soldiers. They're prisoners of war. Ironically enough, Israel has been starving them as well as everyone else on the Strip. We didn't even know what the conditions look like at this point. Are Hamas actually stealing aid, though? From what I know, they care about the Palestinians. No, of course they're not stealing aid, man. What are we talking about? No, there is zero evidence. Nothing. The only quote-unquote evidence is, it's not even evidence. It's just Israel says so. That's it. And for so many of these platforms is like, that's all it takes. Oh, Israel said so? All right, I guess we got to take it as truth then. On top of everything else, Hamas has actively tried to put together a ceasefire negotiation since October 10th, 2023. They've put forth more than 45 different ceasefire negotiations. And I say 45 and not like 4,500 at this point, because after the 45th time, the conditions that they set forth were damn near identical every single time, okay? Like, in some way, shape, or form, for the past 2 years, Hamas has been actively, desperately trying to put together a ceasefire negotiation. Israel has decided to not do that. Israel wants to use the existing hostages as or at least in the beginning, as a reason for why they have to do ethnic cleansing. That's it. That's it. There is no real interest from the Israeli side, from the Israeli government side, for a permanent solution, a permanent cessation of hostilities. They just want to do ethnic cleansing. It's not like they're hiding it. They're openly saying it too. It's not like Israel's like sheltering the public from their perspective. They're saying it. What's the statement? Like, the first casualty in war is the truth. It just feels so crazy that every single day that I've covered this, like, there are still people who come in here and they go, I'm confused. Like, why won't Hamas release the hostages or something? It's like, they are trying, man. They've been trying since fucking October 10th. Your talking points take too long. News will never let all that info be explained. You think news media will not let me explain my position because of the length of my talking points? There are people who are infinitely faster and way more clever than me They don't get to speak about these positions on mainstream media as well. Plus, we don't really need to be on mainstream media at this point. The audience that I've been able to cultivate is large enough on its own. So worry not. The reason why mainstream media does not have positions like mine readily available is not because of the length. It's not because of how lengthy it is. It's because of what I'm saying. It's because I offer unconditional support. The chatter is correct in the sense that a TikTok 30-second point you have ready to go will reach 70 million new viewers tomorrow if you have that prepped. What? Oh my God. Okay. Hasan reminds me of a little bitch that always wants to be right. Let's unban this guy real quick. Here's the problem with that. You're offering... I'm going to unban him. I want to hear what he has to say. You're recognizing that I'm correct, and that's what pisses you off, which is so strange. Hasan reminds me of a little bitch that always want to be right. Wouldn't you rather always be right or want to be right and find the truth than to just admit that you're wrong all the time like you are currently? Like, this is what's so shocking to me, is that people will just be like, oh, this guy, he's always trying to be on the right side of history. It's like, well, don't you? Are you describing the process of fucking being a curious, an intellectually curious person who has a moral compass as a negative? Like, what the fuck? Oh, fuck you. I hate that you're right all the time. You want to be right all the time. It pisses me off. It's like, okay, do you want to be wrong all the time? Why do you want to be wrong all the time?
She's the executive director of the World Food Program, and she talked about what is happening right now in terms of the actual administration of aid and what it could be. And she knows that because she's done it before. Watch.
When we had full access, we had 400 distribution sites. We were getting in 600 trucks a day. So the capability that we have is unmatched by any other organization or any other foundation. And we know where our food goes because we have a system on the ground that is tested and works. We need full sustained access. We need at scale so we can set up the kinds of aid stations that can actually help people and do it where it's not a panic situation.
It's truly shocking to me that Cindy McCain genuinely is like the only good McCain, both alive and dead. And she is so different. She is so on the opposite moral playing field as opposed to the living, breathing Meghan McCain and also the very much dead John McCain. I don't even understand how this can happen. Like, are they related? What do you mean? That's John McCain's wife. I don't understand how you could be married to John McCain and also be the executive director of the World Food Program and have been one of the most morally consistent voices on, one of the most morally clear voices on the, widow, not wife. But like, it doesn't make sense. Opposites attract. Bro, she had to pick from a dude born 80 years ago. She did her best. Nothing makes sense. It's like if Melania was like a socialist, okay? This is like if Melania Trump came out as like a massive advocate for like socialism and was like actively hands-on combating capital owners on the streets or some shit. Because like she's there, you know what I mean? She's in and out of Gaza. She is actively feeding the children of Gaza. It's like if Melania Trump was like a Titoist, you know? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, Melania is a Yugoslav sleeper cell. Tito is Yugoslavia. She will restore it to its former glory. Just you fucking wait.
Cindy's right. Let me just say from the outset, Hamas is responsible for what happened in Gaza. They don't negotiate in good faith. They are a terrorist organization.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit. Stop making me hard. You're hard. That's weird. A helping hand is a helping hand no matter how dirty. Sometimes people just walk the walk, dude. No, I just don't understand how she was with John McCain, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like fucking Ava Braun, like working hands-on in like releasing Jews from concentration camps. You know what I mean? Like that's the weird the weird juxtaposition of like what Cindy McCain is doing versus what John McCain had done and what he advocated for. Anyway, god damn it, dude. Every time I see one of these fucking absolute morons, these assholes, it's just like, really ruins my day. First of all, we must say Hamas, 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 Hamas. Guys, have I talked about Hamas? Excellent. Hamas.
Having said that,
oh my God, someone said, "Welcome to the world of straight women." Oh, that's so funny. That's like that meme. It's like girl who's like saying, "Hey, have you read this latest feminist literature?" And then the boyfriend is right next to her. It's like the most racist man alive t-shirt. That's Cindy McCain and John McCain. That's literally what that meme is. Yeah, Cindy, I can fix him, McCain. A real woke gap relationship. Yeah. Yeah.
Israel needs to be doing far more than they're doing to allow food to come in or to provide it themselves. And I mean, having spent much of the last 3 years in the Muslim world, you ought to see how the U.S. is being portrayed there for standing by and being silent, at least on this. Now, Hamas, they are a terrorist organization. I don't speak for them, but Israel needs to do more, and America needs to do more to force them to allow food.
Bro, these guys talk about Israel like there's a fucking gun pointed right at them off camera, just off camera. It's crazy. Like they're like, oh well, Israel needs to do more, but also Hamas, Hamas.
It's heartbreaking to see what's going on. I served meals in southern Turkey after the earthquake with somebody from World Central Kitchen, who later went to Gaza and was killed by a strike. Wow. They're serving meals there. It's a horrible situation. Anybody who can watch what we just watched and say, no, Israel's doing enough, the U.S. is doing enough, we're not.
Yeah, I mean, she said 400 distribution sites is what they typically would have to feed a population of that size. We're talking about 4 now. And then at those sites, I can show you the headlines. I mean, dozens killed in separate incidents over the course of the last several weeks, just trying to get aid at those sites, creating incredibly dangerous conditions. It just seems, Abel, at this moment, it's not actually asking all that much for there to be more than what is happening right now, because what's happening right now is clearly not even close to being enough.
Abby, to look at the images, obviously it's painful, especially I'm a father. There's a lot of us here who are fathers, to see these kids.
But Hamas. I like that in order to have Peter Beinart and Kat on there, Kat, who is literally, isn't she on this panel too? She's not talking at all, which is crazy. She's literally Palestinian, chat. She's fucking straight up Palestinian. So you got Peter Beinart, who is an outspoken critic of Israel, and you got Kat, who's Palestinian, surrounded by 3 old douchebag white Christian dudes who are just like constantly going, but Hamas, but Hamas, but Hamas. What the fuck is happening? They cut her out of the YouTube video. It was aired though. She didn't get to say much.
Over the course of the last several weeks, just trying to, it just seems, Abel, at this moment, it's not actually asking all that much for there to be more than what is happening right now, because what's happening right now is clearly not even close to being enough.
Abby, to look at the images, obviously it's painful, especially I'm a father. There's a lot of us here who are fathers, to see these kids. But then Hamas is just, they portray.
He literally did it, by the way. I was joking when I paused it. He just straight up did that. He said, I'm a father, but Hamas. I'm a father, but Hamas. So we got to kill some of these kids, man. Sorry. They just happen to be also Palestinian, just like Hamas is Palestinian. Sorry. It is what it is. Some genocide has to keep going, just a chroma genocide.
As a political party, they're a syndicate. They're a gang. They are a terrorist organization. I've been to Sderot. I've been to Ashdod, little cities right next to Gaza. I mean, these kids wake up in the morning, there's a kazam coming over their head. They're going into these culverts that they paint them as snails so these kids can play in culverts to protect themselves. This is bad. President Donald J. Trump wants a couple of things. Scott mentioned it. He wants a ceasefire.
Bro, I can't watch this shit, man. They're such fucking animals. They're such demons, bro. They are such fucking animals. They're so disgusting. It's I don't know. It's just, I can't do this. Here's what Kat said.
Every day in those little towns.
Gaza was under Israeli occupation. It has been under Israeli occupation since 1967. You know, most of the people in Gaza are not from Gaza. They're from families of refugees that were expelled from Israel in 1948. That's where they're there in the first place.
Let me let Kat have a word in. Go ahead.
I am from one of those families. My father's parents were Nakba survivors. I do not want Israeli children to live in fear, and I don't want Gazan children to starve to death. And there is no enemy of either state that could want me to wish that or excuse the starvation of children. It is that simple. Food is being blocked. It is being blocked. This is a man-made humanitarian disaster. It could stop at any point. We could be putting pressure on this.
Yeah, they launched missiles from hospitals. They launched missiles from preschools.
Okay, there is
this is who Hamas is.
There is nothing.
Hold on a
no
second.
agency that
let me
could
just ask
excuse
you
this.
to. Let me ask you to.
New York would do. They get Kazams every day.
You know what I think is also crazy? I have a suspicion that Scott Jennings is going to go and run for office, and CNN is basically just creating the perfect environment for him to like win a Republican seat somewhere by offering him incredible amounts of unlimited influence and prominence and a fucking paycheck. Tommy Vitor to the left of AOC on the Iron Dome. Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. Criticisms of politicians, of course, always okay and important. That said, AOC is about the best we have on these issues, and yet she gets a disproportionate amount of shit from people in ways that are stupid and self-defeating, in my opinion. So many other New York polls, you could easily move on policy. There's a broader conversation we need to have about blowing up this false distinction between offensive and defensive weapon systems and how missile defense enables offensive militarism, but that will take a lot of work. The problem is that tweeting welcome to the tent does nothing either. It's not too late for the kids who are being starved to death. If anyone can help them, it's now suddenly repentant liberals. On the other hand, accountability for such opportunists is a live possibility. I just couldn't disagree more. The coalition to end this nightmare has to be big enough to include anti-interventionist right and liberal Zionists who decided to today is it has to end. No one wants them to be a part of a movement where self-righteous people scold them upon entry. I mean, my attitude on this stuff is it's good to exercise caution while also saying I've said this a million times over. Just as I don't fucking fault people and I don't spend a lot of time yelling at them on October 10, 2023 for realizing the severity of this crisis, or even a month after October 7, 2 months after October 7, despite the fact that I was an advocate for Palestinian emancipation for the past 12 years of my professional media career, I even now don't spend too much time on people who say, look, this is horrifying. It's a bridge too far. I'm out. Fuck Israel. As long as they don't spend any time going back to their old ways of just like consistently railing against people who've been there, you know, that's it. I have been an advocate since 2009 and I do judge them. I don't because I understand that coalition building and creating an environment of unimaginable pressure is the only option we have out of this. And I do that for the sake of all of the people who have already been martyred thus far. And I do that for the sake of all the people who we can save. That's the way I see it, because it's such an unimaginable crisis that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when people become advocates. This isn't to say welcome them in open arms and start assuming that they are, what is this? Tommy Vitor tweeting, I told you so at people who change their mind about what's happening in Gaza does not help the kids who are being starved to death. Welcome to people into the tent, build a bigger coalition, use it to force political change. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do kind of agree with Tommy Vitor on this. Like, I think people that do that are not doing it for any other reason other than like morally posturing. I think it's incredibly important to remember what it took for these people to change their minds, because that shows you how fucking out of whack their moral compass is. So you should be careful, okay? You should be careful with those people. But having said that, it doesn't fucking matter, because as long as they spend no time doing like the ContraPoints bullshit, and after demonstrating that change, do they go, hey, I'm going to take a lot of shit here from a lot of people, but it doesn't matter because I think I want to be on the right side of this and I really fucked up, then it's good, because it's a necessity for everyone to be on board. You know what I mean? You need everyone to be on board. You need to be unavoidable. you need to be undeniable and in order to get to that position, you need people who are still holding on, you know? This doesn't mean that I'm going to turn around and be like, wow, these guys are great. They're my favorite people. No, not at all. They saw all of the atrocities that you saw, okay? And they chose to defend it. But what it will take to put an end to it, to put an end to further bloodshed, is going to be people like that also coming on board, and also offering unconditional support to the Palestinian emancipation. That's it. That's my primary focus here. If you turn around and you were awfully quiet, or maybe even defended Israel in the beginning, but then shut the fuck up, and then you turn around and you say, you know what, I fucked up. This was bad. I'm pro-Palestine. Fuck Israel. Okay? If you say that and you don't spend any time shitting on the left or the pro-Palestinian position or talking about Hamas or whatever the fuck, then you're good. You're good by me. I will welcome you. I'll be cautious, but we need those numbers. We can't afford to fucking shed those numbers. That's it. Yeah. This person is one of the greatest examples of what I'm talking about. Shael Ben Ephraim, fuck my Israeli citizenship, fuck Israel, fuck Zionism. He went from straight up being a liberal Zionist who defended Israel until a couple months ago to like being an anti-Zionist. Okay. Now, is there still a lot of, is there still a decent amount of how do I describe it? Like, do I still have a healthy dose of skepticism? A little bit, for sure. But I understand how fucking powerful social conditioning might be. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter for me because he's not doing the fucking, the classic tropes of, he's not doing the classic tropes of like, well, what about Hamas? What about Hamas? What about Hamas? So as long as someone doesn't do that, then yeah, it's fine. Do you see other content creators differently for not saying nothing? It's hard not to judge their silence. I don't care about content creators anymore. Why do you think I always talk about wanting to fucking move to New York? Anyway, Felix says, let's pretend they did not know. It's a fucking ludicrous thing to pretend. If a member of Congress was totally and entirely unaware of GHF, the starvation, the mass killing, they are too fucking stupid to live outside of a group home setting. What kind of coalition is this? Is this what you want? A coalition led by people who were somehow duped despite having access to much more information than the general public, or the other, more likely option, a coalition led by the perpetrators? Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about politicians, then I don't care about their previous positions as long as they're like actively working to put an end to it. But I have a agnostic framework when dealing with the morality of politicians. Does that make sense? Where I just don't care. They're a vehicle for me. They're a vessel, you know? I don't need to love them. I don't give a shit about them at all. And this even extends to the likes of Zohran Mamdani. I only care about the movement. I only care about what they can do for me and for you and for everybody else. That's their job. They are public servants. I'm not a fucking stan. Just put the policy in the bag, little bro. Just keep it pushing. They work for us. That's it. In the short term, yes. Obviously, fucking yes. You need a political movement now to end the war, then vote the shitheads out at next election. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't even necessarily fully disagree with Tommy Vitor on this. Like, yeah, that's just what it's going to take. And I don't give a shit. We'll yell at them after, you know? If they vote in the appropriate direction going forward, then that's fucking great. Now, of course, we're having this conversation on a pure hypothetical that doesn't even exist at this moment. Like, who the fuck is changing their attitude and then voting alongside those lines, you know? Is there someone who's doing that? Why are people on this website obsessively attacking AOC and both New York senators actively defending everything Israel does? If anything, AOC and Pat Ryan should be lining up to unseat them. I think the easy answer is about hope and expectations. People are hungry for a totally unapologetic champion. AOC is one of the 10 best House members when it comes to calling out and opposing the genocide, but people want her to be the best. No equivocation at all, and that's not unreasonable. Yep, Ryan is right. It's the same reason as to why Bernie Sanders' liberal Zionism is insane, okay? Highest ranking, most popular Jewish politician in the United States of America who comes from this background, who comes from a socialist background. It's ridiculous. My expectations of Bernie Sanders are infinitely higher than fucking Chuck Schumer, okay? What are we talking about? He knows better. He knows better, and he has a fuckload more influence, too, to be able to say, like, look, man, I'm Jewish. What is this? What's aggravating is that capitulating to Israel weapons funding doesn't help her at all. Israel doesn't accept anything less than full support. If she tries to run for anything, she'll be attacked by them full strength. Giving anything to them only hurts her with her own base. Exactly. No, absolutely. Better late than never. I had a former member of the pro-Israel club I used to be the president of who blocked me after I started being pro-Palestine reach out and tell me that she changed her mind and that Israel's committing a genocide. Did I shit on her for not waking up earlier? Of course not. Be charitable. I don't care how late you realize, as long as you eventually realize charitability is the name of the game. Yeah. Also, people respond to what they're seeing right now. I promise you, those people who are just now waking up, no matter how late it is, a year from now or 2 years from now, are probably going to be by your side. Now, that's different, though. That's a human being and not a politician, okay? So obviously, we're not talking about politicians here. Different expectations, different standards. And even all politicians are not the same either. What they can do for you is quite similar, of course. But my expectation from Bernie Sanders is, of course, going to be a lot higher than even AOC, as a matter of fact, partially because of Bernie's prominence and partially because of his history. Yeah, I told you so stuff is never useful, but I think this exaggerates the extent to which the tent is really growing. Most of these statements from Dems are a combination of vague hand-wringing and calling for a ceasefire in the same manner Biden did, which is Hamas must surrender. Anyone who isn't at a minimum explicitly calling for a full arms embargo against Israel, not bullshit about offensive defensive carve-outs, is not really joining any tent in a meaningful sense, just engaging in PR ass covering. Looking very upset is not a political position. Yeah, no, absolutely. What's the point of gathering more support in the future, as you're saying, when all those people of Gaza will be ethnically cleansed by that time? Because you don't have a timeline. You don't have that timeline. So you have to act as though every single person you can bring on board tomorrow, yesterday, a week from now is still valuable. It's for those people who you are trying to help survive that you do this. That's it. That's my attitude. Because what you're describing is defeatist. I mean, I just interviewed, like, I'm doing it for people like Abdurrahman and Yusuf, okay? I'm doing it for them. I'm doing it for the people who are still very much alive and very much hope to continue living and live freely as they deserve, okay? So I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about telling people I told you so or whatever. That's the reason. Mossab Abu Toha says Israel's going to resume airdrops of aid, which, by the way, airdrops are an inconsistent and unreliable solution to this problem that Israel itself has created. Israel's going to continue resuming airdrops of aid. They're enabling safe movement of UN convoys delivering food and medicine. They will reconnect a power line to a Gaza desalination plant, boosting daily water output to 20,000 cubic meters. What happened all of a sudden? I will tell you. Some countries applied some pressure to Israel, which means these same countries can stop the genocide. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah. I mean, fuck the politicians that took this long to get on board, or they're not even fully on board, let's be real. But ultimately, it doesn't matter, because as long as, like, it's the same as, like, politicians even seemingly offering symbolic gestures to a Palestinian statehood in, like, a Q7 nation like France is moving the needle in the appropriate direction. I'm not going to fucking celebrate these people, but I'm also not going to shit on them unless they do something that's worthy. It's always good not to punish it's always good not to punish good behavior. You should probably either reward good behavior, reward them by no longer fucking yelling at them, and expect more or demand more, and focus on punishing bad behavior. It's not good behavior. It is good behavior. Yeah. Treat politicians like fucking dogs. Okay. Like you're potty training them. Do you understand? That's my assessment. I don't care. I mean, I think it's, I don't know what else to say. So fucking.
They pulled out of Gaza. They pulled out in terms of negotiating. It was.
Please stop comparing humans to animals in a derogatory manner. I assume you're more upset that I'm comparing animals to humans, right? Like you're mad that I'm comparing animals who are infallible and have done nothing wrong to human beings that are actually bad and evil, especially politicians. He's baited.
It was too bad. Hamas didn't really want to make it.
Yeah, Trump admitting that Israel would not accept a permanent end to hostilities and would resume the attacks after getting the hostages, yet is still blaming Hamas for not taking the deal. Yoav Litvin writes, the aim of liberal Zionist propaganda at this stage is to salvage the Zionist project. To that end, prominent figures like former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert have begun publicly denouncing Netanyahu and his government, accusing them of committing a genocide, a threat. Yeah. Ehud Olmert, the liberal Zionist, is so funny, though. Like, Ehud Olmert being in the liberal Zionism camp is kind of funny to think about. This has sparked excitement. It's like Mitt Romney being like a fake rhino, you know? This has sparked excitement in some circles. Even Israeli leaders are calling it a genocide, but this is not progress. On the contrary, by acknowledging that it is now is a genocide, specifically in reference to Operation Gideon's Chariots, they achieve strategic goals. They exonerate the Zionist project as a whole, implying it wasn't genocidal before October 7, or even until recently. Only now under Netanyahu has it supposedly crossed that line. They shift blame away from themselves, pinning guilt squarely on the current government. They offer a rhetorical defense against the international legal scrutiny, such as charges before the ICJ. They work to shield Israeli soldiers, many of whom have been documented committing war crimes, from accountability. In essence, their disingenuous outcry is a signal/offer to the international community, i.e. the U.S. and its allies, that the mission has been accomplished. Now they can pile on Netanyahu and his genocidal cronies, pretend like he was the problem all along, even send him to The Hague, and transition back to processes of incremental genocide under the leadership of these very liberal Zionists, who will go back to enjoying the privileges they've grown accustomed to while slow rolling the expulsion of Palestinians from the West Bank. However, it is crucial to remember that the genocide could not have been possible without liberal Zionist propaganda and normalization. They have to face consequences that will not be absolved. This includes Hasbarets, which amplified atrocity propaganda. The end. Why you trash on everything? Why are you trashing on everything? The world is good, right? I mean, it's good for you. It's good for me. But the world as a whole is not good. It's not good for many others. Yeah. I candidly prefer Brett Stevens' open bloodlust to this moral obfuscation around assumed goodness of civilized nations. Yeah. Israel's war in Gaza is not a genocide. It's a war for just cause, the elimination of a cruel, fanatical, itself potentially genocidal terrorist organization that oppresses its own people, holds innocent hostages, and will pose a severe danger to the state of Israel so long as it holds power. Oh, got it. Thanks, Ross. I guess it's not, it just became unjust. But it's still just, it seems, because that's how you started off the conversation. The war's heartbreaking civilian toll is inextricably linked to that terrorist government's refusal to obey the laws of war. Its unwillingness to surrender no matter how much of its own people suffer, its willingness to accept famine rather than give up control of humanitarian aid, and inclination to let ceasefire negotiations spin endlessly. Okay, so it's just more fucking propaganda. Here it is. Even when you have someone who's trying to assume a liberal Zionist position, which he is not, you still ultimately do a fuck ton of genocidal propaganda, because that's precisely what this is. You can't read anything like that. You can't read this as anything but that. How terrible. It's not even a vibe shift. Such a war cannot be fought exclusively with precision strikes. The soldiers fighting it cannot be prevented from making terrible mistakes, and war crimes are inevitably committed even in righteous conflicts. So there's no way to look at the rubble in Gaza and the death toll estimates and offer a mathematical proof that Israel is failing to exercise adequate restraint. I just think it's true. Deaths from famine are a clearer matter, which is why the threat of starvation is leading even some of Israel's strongest supporters to warn its government that something must change. Here, Israel has made a strategic choice, trying to separate food distribution from a system that it argues Hamas was exploiting for its own purposes. But if your strategic choice leads to children dying of starvation, the food available to feed them, then a civilized nation has to make a different choice, even if that makes things easier for its enemies to some degree. Yeah, Hamas is potentially genocidal, which justifies Israel's war crimes, is not the argument you want to be making in public 22 months in, you know? Same people saying the same shit about war on terror, their brains never change. Yeah. It's really fucked up, but that's it. Yeah, also, you were right again. Netanyahu's son claims Joe Rogan refused to have his father on the show. Years of anti-Semitic propaganda. Yeah. Even Joe Rogan has the wherewithal to recognize that it's a bad look for him to have Benjamin Netanyahu on 22 months into his genocide. Yeah. All right. This was uncharacteristic of me, but I think I'm going to end it here early today. And I apologize for the incredibly short broadcast. This is a literal half day, but I'm really tired. I've been up super early. I was filming something in the morning. I won't tell you what it is, but it's very exciting. It's a very exciting thing that I'm a part of. And that's it. I don't know why I'm dying right now. I'm just so tired. So I'm going to end it here on that note, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow, and I'll do like a regular ass stream. Noah Colwyn is here, staying with me. But yeah, Too much birthday fun? Yeah, I mean, I spent my birthday doing a fundraiser for an immigrant advocacy group. But love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace, everybody.
Reviewing the P.O. box, Uncle Uger's face. Sat in Discord at Chip Prop, great names take on breaks. Tiny Bernie Sanders, LGBTQ Air Force. The whole left at your fingertips, Ane at your door. H3 crowded debate, the Young Turks online show. 3 full fucking years of this, plenty more to go. 90-day fiance, talks of champagne bourgeoisie. A Trump rally live reaction, a mass riot at DC. There he is again, Hasan streaming.